Good evening, gamers. It's very good to see you all.
Welcome to CappingTV. We're back for more.
What an introduction.
Yeah, what an excellent introduction. It's like I've been doing this for years. My name is Lampshade22, and with me I have the wonderful, the beautiful, the indomitable Tal.
What an entrance. It's me. We are casting this wonderful grand final. We got two absolute tyrants that are dueling it out across 5 maps for us this evening. Hopefully we can see a good amount of those maps, but both of these teams have made it through the gauntlet that is the AFL top 8 finals. We had qualifying finals, semi-finals, prelim finals, all the way up to the grand final. And these two teams looking to brush up against each other, see who can take it. Have you been following this season at all, Snazzy?
I've been following a little bit of the season, and I've been excited to see what We're Obviously Gaming and Co can do in this one, because they've had a bit of a roller coaster season. I don't know. They were up, they were down, they were left, they were right. They were doing all sorts of things, but they're certainly winning.
Yep. We Are Obviously Gaming and Co is definitely a team that is going to bring a little bit of friction to the team of bAUlls, who is our top seed, and probably for a lot of the viewers expected to win this grand final. But personally, I'd like to see the We're Obviously Gamers and Co team show a bit of friction. And what a first map to start it off. We're going into product first thing. And
absolutely lethal, yeah.
We'll take it to rosters first to unpack this a little bit.
Yeah.
On the team of bAUlls, you want to run it through, Snazzy?
Oh, mate, I can tell you all about bAUlls. So on bAUlls, we've got 2 scouts, which is appropriate. We've got Rohan and Robor, also known as Sheep, who is, for anyone tuning in who isn't aware, that cunt is a freak. He's really, really, really good. On the soldiers, we have Raylan and Tachyon, also incredibly good gamers. A lot to look forward to there. They've both had pretty excellent seasons. On the demo man, they have Matt, who, again, just another freak, easily one of the better demo men in the country. And on medic, they have Connor, who I think people don't notice because, it's medic. You're not doing anything too flashy, but he's incredibly consistent. Really, really good at the game.
Yeah. It's awesome to see Connor on the medic role as we take a look at the We're Obviously Gamers and Co roster. We've got Rue on Scout alongside Gitaki. We've got Hertz and Oz on the Soldiers, and I believe we do have a bit of a stand-in tonight. I think we're playing with Flare instead of Hertz. And then we've got Memories on the Demolition Man and Monolith, the Man, on the Medic. And yeah, this team has had a wonderful run this season. Obviously had to make a few roster changes, and we've seen that with both teams. A little bit of a substitution made there. We've got Flare there. And yeah, both of these teams, they've sort of evolved over the course of the season, seen a few roster changes, but these final iterations, tell you what, Snazzy, it's going to be a tight one, I think. I really want to see both of these teams. I know Flare, not so used to playing with We're Obviously Gaming and Co. I think he is just a one-match stand-in after there was a bit of drama losing Hertz. I think only last week during that qualifying final. Unfortunately, Hertz won't be playing tonight, but we are... Wait, Hertz is playing.
Is Hertz
It's just in. I think Hertz is actually playing. I'm getting a memo.
Oh, all sorts of
Yes.
drama abounds, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, well...
Yeah, possibly
the
Hertz
hero-
is playing.
soaring back into his team's clutches. He's gonna stir some stuff up. Yeah, that's a surprise to me. I've heard a little bit of drama coming out from this team, so it's good that they're maybe reconciling a little bit here to play for us tonight. And what a series of maps we've got, Snazzy. We're starting out on Product, which was picked by the bAUlls team. They're very, very confident on their Koths, so starting out there strongly. And then We're Obviously Gaming, pulling out the Sunshine pick. So excited to see that. And then we had a few bans come out. bAUlls banning out Metalworks. We're obviously gaming, banning out Gully Wash. We've got Process and Bagel coming out from both teams. Granary and Clear Cup getting banned, and then Snake Water, if we make it that far for our best of 5 decider. Now, in terms of these map picks and bans, nothing surprises me too much. bAUlls probably not feeling like they want to pull out the Metalworks tonight. I can't say that's entirely because they are afraid of the works of We're Obviously Gaming, or if they just don't feel like playing it. But on the other hand, We're Obviously Gaming banning out Gully Wash. I feel like they're doing that a bit out of fear of the soldiers on the bAUlls team. Raylan, I know for sure, can be an absolute menace on this Gully Wash map. So no surprises there why that ban would come out. And then again, Process coming out is that third map pick. I would say that's the case because the scouts on bAUlls are just so dominant. I don't know if you've played against Sheep on Process, much less Rowan on Process. Rowan similarly scary on this map, but they are not to be trifled with.
I mean, I don't think so anyone in the server
definitely
can be trifled
a power
with,
pick
really.
for them.
Yeah.
One thing I am really excited for, and I do hope the series goes that far, is Bagel. Because I've seen a couple of these We're Obviously Gaming and Co's scrims and matches on Bagel, and I tell you what, they are an absolute force on this map. I mean, I would hazard to say, I think they've unlocked Bagel. And
Really?
I don't think I've seen a team play on that map quite like We're Obviously Gaming. They've got a level of control and particularly of the houses, the left and right houses on Bagel, that is pretty impressive to see. And then we've got Snakewater as our decider, and it looks like those other two bans are just trying to get rid of the scrappier maps that maybe don't feel too certain in either direction. So getting rid of those more chaotic ones, and then Snakewater, good old reliable for that last map pick. Is there a map here that you're particularly excited for, Snazzy?
I am more than excited about Bagel, I must admit. I don't like playing that map. I found it detestable. But I also, don't really like playing the game full stop, honestly. So anyway,
enough.
I am excited to see.
CappingTV.
Oh yeah, for all my faults, you can't say I'm not honest. But yeah, no, I am actually quite excited to see that one because, especially, I have heard that there's been some great leaps and bounds in the way that people have played it. I know when we were playing it last, I kept on ranting at my team about how we needed to get more control of those, those side houses and stuff, and actually use them to our advantage. But I have been watching the occasional game here and there, and I have been noticing that people are a lot better on that map, a lot more aware of what needs doing. But that's still 2 maps away. So I first and foremost in this night-long sojourn of hedonism, I do get to watch Viaduct or Product here, and that alone has got me. I'm going to start singing a falsetto if this goes on much longer.
100%. I mean, I've got a nice cold cup of iced coffee in front of me. I'm ready to go the distance after, honestly, quite a long day. But we're going to make it work. And I'm really excited for the match we've got ahead of ourselves. And what a place to start than Product. And I know these teams are very, very eager to get into things. We only have a few more seconds left until the old STV catches up. But yeah, very, very excited. What do you like about Product, Snazzy? I personally think it's one of the few arenas that our beautiful teams get to play in that can really demonstrate their individual skill and their individual DM. What do you like about Product?
I agree with you. I think it is like, it's the most overt DM map where each player can have such a massive impact. But I really like about this map that you can, as you watch the way that teams play, you can see their strategy coming into play. Some teams play a more push and pull, tension and release sort of situation with the way that they take the point and then back off a bit to try to force people to die to spam before they can even get in. Some teams just stay aggressive the whole time. It's very interesting.
Yep, 100%. And we are very shortly going underway as both teams have readied up. Going into map 1, product of this grand final. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off Matt. He's going to roll out Cliffside, getting this health pack, making sure he's full HP going into this first fight here, trying to land some long-range sticky damage. Hasn't taken any himself yet, managed to get that juicy crit heal, and we might see a little bit of a deep bomb here, Oz. Landing in secret here before jumping to grass pack. We've got Matt going down on the other side of this fight. Rowan taking out Hertz in the meantime. Memories also to go down, and it looks like Sheep on the sniper is actually making a fantastic amount of space for this bAUlls team right now.
The control point has been
We're obviously gaming played really aggressive, and they took a lot of attention and then collapsed on Matt. It was a really good start for him, but they just got sort of picked off one by one as players sort of turned around and dealt with each individual player that had managed to get in that aggressive angle. But Sheep up on sniper, I mean, look, he's living up to his namesake. The dude is a menace, and this is a map that really, really rewards good snipers as well. Soldier bomb in, does manage to take him out as we go into the next fight here.
Yeah, fantastic. Really aggressive soldier bombs onto that sniper, which is, of course, the most effective counterplay going into this. And we do have a 4v5 battle evolving out here with blue team finally capturing that point. Red making sure that they're respecting the space that where obviously gaming can afford to them. Raylan, unfortunately, cratering there, looking for that health pack on back cliff there. And Sheep still on the sniper, picking up Oz with the headshot there, but Hertz bringing down Tachyon in the meantime. It's worth pointing out that they still have 2 soldiers on the side of Red. They're opting to have one of their scouts off-classing, which is quite unusual. And of course, Sheep, he does play extremely confident on the sniper, so it might not be too much of a trouble here as Rowan picking up Hertz, Matt picking up Gataki in the meantime. This might give bAUlls an opportunity to get a bit of cap time now, run down the clock a little bit, Snazzy. What are we feeling about this sniper play so far?
I think it's really good, and I might note, as you were talking about that, they actually swapped over to 2 scouts, 1 soldier.
Yeah, I think this is the braver play. I think this is the braver play.
Yeah,
it's not that it's not necessarily that the soldier is a bad class on the product. It's just that scout can just be so dominant, as we see Tachyon just walking forward, bringing down Oz, and channeling your heals into these 2 scouts just lets you do exactly this, walking across the point. Tachyon keeping his eyes on these soldiers, backing up briefly, going to bring down Hertz to the crater there. And now Wog Co going to be thinking about stuff for a little bit. I'm abbreviating where obviously game is there as I say that.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, look, I think it's a good play getting both scouts up. I mean, it's so much burst damage if you can get them in the right position. And they are, I mean, we're playing at such a level where these guys are going to be in the right position. It makes a lot of sense. Both teams facing off against each other. Uber comes out. We're obviously gaming using first counter Uber out of the bAUlls team. And bAUlls have actually come out really well on the tail end of that one. Uber is fading now. A lot of players low on We're Obviously Gaming. But Connor down very, very low on the side of bAUlls. Very dangerous spot to be in, but they do look like they've actually come out on the top of this one, especially with another headshot coming out. Sheep getting a cool, calm, collected one right at the tail end of that fight to really neuter any aggression. Just textbook counter Uber play. Really, really well done.
I mean, a common misconception of this map is that you want to get as much done in an Uber as you would, say, on a 5 CP map. But a lot of the time, we're just trying to maintain the heals, make sure we don't lose any players, and really guarantee that post-fight as we see 2 soldiers coming in, trying to land on our scouts here, doing a lot of damage. Raylan to be brought down in trade of Oz. And we've got Rue on top of Matt in the middle of the point, Connor sinking a nice arrow there, but unfortunately not able to keep him live. But Hertz and Gataki going down similarly on the other side of that fight. Robot taking out one, Tachyon taking out the other, and it looks like bAUlls still the favor of that aggression. They got a lot of cap time on We're Obviously Gamers, but losing those players early on. Uber is going to come out here. They do have Uber on the side of Connor here. They're going to drop Tachyon in favor of maybe holding on to this Uber. Matt doing a very, very fantastic job of protecting his medic there. Rue and Oz both going down, and Connor doesn't even press that right click. Fantastic work there.
Connor's got some balls of steel there, mate. No stress at all. Just wandering forward. They're going to be able to edge this point off, but they're actually getting very aggressive here. Uber does get used. They keep their players alive. Very good stuff. Picking up a couple of gamers in the middle of that Uber, and with their spawns coming out now, Sheep still forward, getting a bit of damage onto Oz on the point there. They only have to clean up a couple of players, and this round is theirs. 5 seconds left on the clock as the Demo Man tries to come in and absolutely gets memed on. I think that's all she wrote for the first round here.
Fantastic. We saw a glimpse of hope in the pipe that Memories hit on Tachyon there. Bringing down Tachyon gave them a glimmer of a re-push, but unfortunately some of their other players were quite out of position there, and they just weren't able to make things happen. But I'll wait and see whether We're Obviously Gamers can go back to the storyboard a little bit, think about how they might approach this counter sniper a little bit more carefully here. So we are on Memories. Going to take a little bit of damage straight away on this mid fight. Oz going to opt for the aggressive bomb, going to land on top of Tachyon here, and we already see a scout rotate around. Robot keeping his eyesight on these players here, going to bring down Root. That's a good opening for the fight, although bAUlls have given up a lot of space here. Those two picks are going to give them a window here as we see Raylan soaring overhead, going to bring down Memories. Rowan similarly bringing down Hertz as Hertz went for the counter bomb, looking to salvage something, but unfortunately bAUlls have the better of We're Obviously Gamers in this encounter.
I don't know if it was intentional on bAUlls' side, but the way that their aggression lined up with Sheep taking a peek there on the sniper, getting a headshot on the Demo Man as the other soldiers came in and stuff like that, it's just insane. Insane. It's no wonder that they ended up killing 4 players just with the targeted aggression that they were pulling out, whether it was intentional or not. Really, really, really good stuff as Sheep picks up another player. Big old shot, and they lose one of their soldiers as well. So both soldiers down now. It's pretty good play out of bAUlls here so far.
Yeah, Raylan will fall to the crossbow of Monolith, but I can tell that these soldiers on the side of We're Obviously Gamers are having a lot of trouble punishing this sniper. We had both of them come in. Oz hitting a nice midi there onto Sheep. Going to look for another rocket. Rowan also to go down. Tachyon brought down weak. They're going to have to back off on the side of bAUlls. Really beautiful initiation. I can tell that they got a little bit of intelligence. They got a bit of insight in that previous bomb, and they were able to channel that aggression more accurately here as Red Team trying to approach again, but taking way too much damage from Memories as they look cliffside. And Monolith doing a fantastic job keeping his team alive as they continue this aggression.
Yeah, really living up to the name there, just like completely immovable. Really doing well. Big old shot out of Oz there. But with Connor getting very aggressive here, they do end up forcing on the point. They are going forward a little bit, but both teams are wrapping around each other here. And I wonder if maybe the gamers here might have overextended, but no, it actually turns out pretty well. No one really dies in the middle of all of that Uber. Both sides now resetting back to where they were. Timer equalizing. So We're Obviously Gaming now looking to get on the front foot. A lot of damage onto Connor. They pick up 3 players for the loss of 1. It's just Matt, and that is a wipe. Excellent aggression out of We're Obviously Gaming here, man. They are obviously gaming.
Yep. What happened there was a lot of the players on bAUlls took a huge amount of damage simultaneously, and that stretched Connor's attention between all of them, and they weren't able to prevent utilizing their spam. We're Obviously Gamers from walking forward, and of course they get punished off of that. That is one downside of the perma sniper. You aren't able to win this spam battle over long drawn out fights. It's Raylan trading with Oz here, and Red Team trying to peek right side here. Tachyon going deep, trying to land on top of Monolith here. Memories able to take him out. Matt also taken down by Rue. A really good sack attempt, but it seemed as though they didn't take as much space as they could have prior to that sack. Maybe not anticipating Monolith to be so far back there. Monolith showing very good awareness to run, hightail it all the way back to his friendly concrete area. bAUlls. Now with the Uber charge, but still with the perma sniper, are going to have to look for an opening here. Tachyon with the aggressive bomb onto this scout. Going to bring down Gataki. And this is the opportunity bAUlls need Snazzy.
Yeah, they're looking pretty aggressive here, getting onto that point nice and early. Matt there, a little bit high and dry. Robor actually going down in the middle of all that, neutering that sniper potential. The Uber has been used, and it is so much better for the We're Obviously Gaming team here. They have picked up quite a lot of dropped players. Connor down very low. They do manage to pick up Monolith, though, on the tail end of that counter Uber. Connor now going down on the point right at the tail end of that one. Raylan picking up one of the scouts with a fadeaway rocket, and their fighting is still going on. Matt is here. His stickies are looking very dangerous. No heals on either team. It's now overtime. bAUlls has to do this now. Matt's on the point. He gets it up to half cap. One of the soldiers coming in now, trying to do what he can to turn this one around into a bit of a win. Big old rocket picks up the demo man. It's just Connor there going for the melee. Not enough to make it happen. And we are obviously gaming here, ladies and gentlemen, because it is now 1-1.
Yep, unfortunately, bAUlls not showing the presence of mind there to acknowledge that over-chasing in that Uber and killing Monolith leaves a lot of their players susceptible to the post-Uber aggression. They lose a lot of players there, and then they clearly aren't able to maintain control of point, having lost those players. So although that kill onto Monolith was quite crucial in ensuring a rapid fight, they did need to keep their players alive in the post-Uber, as we are going into the into the third mid-fight, and it is an absolute brawl, Snazzy. We've got 4 down on either side. 4 down on We're Obviously Gaming and 2 down on the side of bAUlls. And it's going to be a quick mid-fight going in bAUlls' favor this time around.
Yeah, bAUlls really held on there. They lost Matt really early, got mashed up against that dog bread side over on the cliff there, and just minced. Turned into a lovely fennel and pork sausage, but yeah, they managed to deal with that aggression very well after that, and now with the targeted aggression that they're putting out, they're looking really good. They picked up Oz, they picked up Gotaki. They're still super keen forward here, trying to get a bit of damage in, getting so much damage in actually. This demo man is absolutely caught, not going down without a fight. Does manage to pick up Raylan, but does go down. bAUlls are looking really good right now.
Well, bAUlls have made a change. They've got 2 scouts up, but Oz, oh my god, finding a fantastic pick onto Robor there. Right as they've captured up the point, you're going to be facing a really long respawn time. And Oz also picking up Tachyon, rolling out, not expecting that soldier to be positioned so aggressively on the flank there. And with this Uber charge, picking up more players. We're Obviously Gaming, cleaning up these bAUlls players. Matt going for some sort of salvage play and getting punished for it. And you gotta admit, Oz just completely opened up that play. We're Obviously Gaming.
Absolute whirlwind of fists. Oz is. He's flying in there and he's just beating people up, man. Really wild stuff. And that has really put We're Obviously Gaming in a position here where they can start Obviously Gaming. They're definitely in the driver's seat now, able to sort of like take a bit more aggression here. They have dropped some players in there trying to make things happen, but a huge bomb cleans up their medic, it kills their demo man. It's all falling apart now.
Oh, it's an absolute nuke. Oz goes in for some sort of salvage play with the assistance of Gataki, but it's just not enough. They were primed and ready for that counter-aggression following the death of Monolith, and they just didn't find anything, Matt. Going for some early damage here. But yeah, We're Obviously Gaming just didn't find that positioning. They weren't able to stabilize there and get punished so drastically for it as they try and make their way through main here. Oz jumping up to China, going to be on top of Matt here, getting a nice 94 damage rocket off, and forcing Matt to hightail it. Going to get brought down by Gataki, who's making his way through cliff as well. Gataki on top of Connor. Connor going to get brought down here. Rowan finally able to punish Gataki here, but with 4 players down and the point, there's going to be some long respawn times. Rowan going to contest Rue here, going to bring down Rue. Fantastic. We're living with 5 HP. Oz a little bit late to support Rue there, but manages to bring down Rowan nevertheless. And the capture time is going to start off back in the favor of We're Obviously Gaming. And something I want to bring your attention to, Snazzy, is the cap time. Although We're Obviously no, we're just going straight into it. A very aggressive,
they are fighting.
very aggressive play. bAUlls trying to bring down Monolith, trying to punish him there as Connor is still building up the Uber. But I want you to notice that bAUlls have run down the clock 2 minutes and 2 seconds here, despite We're Obviously Gaming's performance. Hurts bringing down Robor there with a nice air shot. And trying to maintain a forward hold here. They still have about 40 seconds of deficit to run down before they can start making an advantage here in terms of objective time.
Yeah, look, I think We're Obviously Gaming have been definitely in the driver's seat for a good chunk of this, but yeah, you're exactly right. bAUlls are just being able to bring that one down and give themselves a bit of breathing room as this fight comes through on that cliffside. Bit of killing going back and forth, but not really too much to worry about. Uber gets used, Connor using to actually get out there. And I do want to mention just something before I forget about it. I believe just earlier was Connor's second drop of the season, unless I'm completely mistaken. So yeah, We're Obviously Gaming. I mean, they are doing a really, really good job here. And they still have their Uber here. They're ready to go. There is a soldier deep on the Monolith. The Uber does get used. They're going to have to get a little bit aggressive with it. I don't know if they're going to be able to pick up very much, but they're still running the timer down. They're now in advantage timer-wise. They're cheering. It's really working out for them.
Yeah, fantastic work here. Getting that forced Uber out, and we see the aggression in turn from We're Obviously Gaming, going to bring down Matt and Raylan, forcing these red players to hightail it here. Connor actually going down as well. I think it's safe to say that We're Obviously Gaming clearly punishing bAUlls for overstaying here after getting that force onto Monolith, seeing that aggression come back. And I gotta say, I expected more of Robor this round as he swapped onto Scout, but he hasn't been able to find much as we see this next fight break out. bAUlls trying to make the most of the early aggression here into this next fight, trying to make it a fast fight as they want to get the point back in their control as they start to run down the clock again. We're Obviously Gaming losing a few players there. Going to face some delayed spawns before they can look to re-aggress. Hurts going down very late to Matt here. We're Obviously Gaming can't be happy with that, but it looks like they might try to aggress anyway. Try to use that Uber advantage, but Connor, he's right about to get.
Dude, it's overtime. They have to get on the point. They've lost Matt. The Uber does get used on the point. It is a little bit better for bAUlls here, but there's not really got any players in a position to actually fight on the tail end of this Uber. Finally getting an arrow through into one of their soldiers. They're now in a position where they can actually start doing things. Matt spawning, but I think We're Obviously Gaming and just playing this safe. They're waiting for all their players. 10 seconds left on the clock before it's double overtime.
Oh my god, it's an absolute nuke. Memories, Kataki, Monolith all going down. And I mean, the soldiers on the side of bAUlls really won that fight for them. We do see a little bit of late aggression here. Rowan and Matt are going to have to pick up these players. Rowan pistoling down Rue, and they're going to get that round. But I got to say, these soldiers on the side of bAUlls, I mean, Monolith did drop Rue. That was very unfortunate. But Raylan and Tachyon winning that flank fight, securing those 2 kills, even if Monolith didn't drop Rue, it was still looking like a losing fight for We're Obviously Gaming, as bAUlls had all the control in that post and really have demonstrated so far that they know the purposes of these trades. As we're going to our 4th round. 4th round mid-fight, Memories looking to play this very slow, very passive, trying to sticky snipe from over the point, going to bring down Tachyon, who drops down quite weak right next to Connor, but Rue similarly punished for overstaying. And We're Obviously Gaming looking at this as an opportunity to send Hurts overhead. Connor going to get brought down. Robor, Rohan also going to fall. They do bring down Hurts, but it's basically a team wipe as Tachyon and Raylan forced to make some sort of salvaged play. Tachyon going to get brought down. Monolith, he's totally fine. Do have to be wary of Raylan, of course, but Kentaki's got it covered. Protecting his boy as they get the first cap. They win this mid-fight. It's really good to see them contesting this aggression with their own aggression rather than letting bAUlls walk over them. As Yotaki looking for a bit of damage here. Tachyon walking through connector. Let's see what damage he can do. Just poking a little bit. Going to get brought down to the holy number of HP before picking up a pack. And Rue using that Uber. Unfortunately, they don't find Connor. And they're just going to bunker down here in Backcliff. Going to bring down Oz, recognizing that Oz and Hertz are both going to go for some sort of salvage play, trying to force Connor. But it's not successful. Connor sinking that arrow into Raylan. Raylan might look for an opportunity here to go deep. He's looking for this pick onto concrete. Going to bring down Gataki before looking at Hertz. Making a collapse play onto Hertz with Robor there. Fantastic, fantastic coordination as Matt brings down Memories with a well-placed trap. Rue also to fall. And this is what well-coordinated TF2 can look like, Snazzy.
Oh, dude, it's just gross. I really would not want to be playing against these guys here. They start rolling the timer down. They're in a position here where it's really difficult to crack out of these forward holds. It is, of course, doable, but you sort of have to sacrifice something for it. And I think they're probably going to play it safe on the side of We're Obviously Gaming here, because it's, they've almost got Uber themselves. They probably want to play this one safe, not lose too much advantage. They do lose 2 players, 3 players now.
Oh, landing on top of Connor. Connor's going to go down.
Oh, my God.
That is devastating for bAUlls. Just couldn't keep him alive. They had players sacking from every possible door. bAUlls overreacting to people pushing some doors. We've got player Tachyon looking to slow down. We're Obviously Gaming as they approach. Going to get dropped down to 19 HP, deserving of an arrow. And it's very unfortunate. Oz going to bring him down. And Connor is back up. They do have the sniper back on Robor. Now that they've got point control, the sniper is not a bad opportunity here. Looking for an angle here. We're Obviously Gaming. Spot out the sniper. Going to be sending a soldier in. Oz, quick to fall. Robor recognizes they're going to try to look for Memories here. Memories will fall, and Gataki. That's the only play they've got, right? They're caught out in the open. They recognize a sniper. They have to play it aggressive. They need to somehow pull a fight out of this. And bAUlls, unfortunately, are going to maintain their point control, and We're Obviously Gaming not successful in that rapid fight. And really showing their map knowledge here. They really want to take these fast fights when they don't have point. We might look for another one to break out soon, as Connor still has the Uber advantage. Monolith needs to be extremely careful not to overstay, as the Uber will come out. Gataki walking across the left-hand side, going to contest Robor, going to bring down Robor, and they're not going to get anything with this Uber charge. Monolith perfectly positioned to get out of that. They only pick up Oz in that Uber. Gataki still somehow alive, bringing down Connor with the pistol from across the map, doing his best toxic MGE impression, hitting every pistol shot there. And they're going to have to make some sort of salvage play, and it's just not successful. I mean, they were praying to find a successful Uber there, but they just wouldn't give it to them.
Yeah, it really was not working out for them. They were absolutely doing everything they could, and it was such back and forth fighting. Both teams really aggressive with individual players, but look, We're Obviously Gaming coming out on top of that. 12 seconds left on the clock for bAUlls, so they're still in a position to win this here, but
oh my God,
it'll depend what they do. Oh no!
Oh no! I was going to say that's really good for bAUlls, and then all of a sudden it was not good for bAUlls, as Memories is just flying in, tugging on those balls, and really just showing them no mercy. Raylan Tachyon also to fall with the rockets of Hertz, and although Tachyon hitting some fantastic rockets, absolutely mulching, it was not enough. It was not enough.
No, not at all. But yeah, look, I think bAUlls are still in a position where they can make this happen. A minute is a lot of time to play with on this map. So they're probably in this to win this, but I tell you what, these fellas on the We're Obviously Gaming team, they're looking very, very aggressive here. They picked up one. They have lost their demo man. Memories going down.
Oh, it's good.
They lose Oz as well. It's 2 for 2 so far. Map down now. This is actually looking much, much better. But We're Obviously Gaming here as they pick up maybe one more. No, they don't just quite get that. But they have their Uber and they're ready to defend for the next 30 seconds. This could be their round.
Yeah, had Matt not fallen there, they could have looked for a refight with the faster spawners. But Matt's death there just so crucial for We're Obviously Gaming and maintaining that hold. They did have a couple of long spawns to contend with of their own. But now with Matt spawning, this Uber trade is going to come out. Raylan deciding to keep himself healthy for the time being, getting shot at a little bit by this trade, maybe going for an aggressive bomb in this post-uber, in a look to maintain control of Pride Rock here. Gonna see a bit of a beefed bomb. Both soldiers weak on the side of Where Obviously Gaming. This is the perfect opportunity for bAUlls as they aggress. Kataki and Rue both going down. Both scouts are dead on the side of Where Obviously Gaming. Robot to fall with the nice pipe of memories. Oz hurts, both falling. bAUlls, they get control of it. In overtime yet again. Rowan walking across point. Monolith going to fall. Memories gonna get chased down, and Kataki and Rue only just spawning. They're gonna have to make something happen here, but it's just not enough.
Down to the wire. One scout on the point. The other scout does get there, but not in time. And that is 3-1 to bAUlls. Down to the wire. Double overtime on 2 rounds there, man.
I mean,
the aggression out of bAUlls there. They saw that beefed jump, and they went, dude, we can get on this right now.
And that's the level of precision.
Stuff.
That's the level of precision and coordination we see from these two teams. It can be a matter of like some soldiers on the enemy team being slightly too weak to counter bomb. And that can be every opportunity for bAUlls to just aggress off of that, right? It's basically like 2 soldiers are out of the fight. If they can recognize that game state, they can just absolutely send it into these players. And I gotta say, my dark horse for this match, Rowan, was absolutely key to pick up all of these picks. Like, we saw so much damage coming out of these soldiers and Matt. And Rowan showing the presence there to pick up on those players, getting 31 kills with only 12 deaths, really showing his mind's in the game. And we're obviously gaming, obviously not gaming hard enough to bring down bAUlls in this first map.
Roll log out of Rohan, man.
That is terrifying. Gross. That is absolutely gross. Yeah, look, they're obviously gaming, but you're exactly right. I don't think they're gaming in the right direction. I mean, look, losing one map right at the start of this, especially a map like Viaduct, like Product there, it's really not the end of the world. Coming into Sunshine here, you sort of have to readjust everything anyway. But I think the way that the post-Ubers was going, and I think especially at this sort of level, like, you really have to pay a lot of attention to the post-Ubers. The Uber itself is less important than those post-Ubers. And I think bAUlls had really, really good control of those post-Ubers. There was like maybe 1 or 2 where they were a little bit disconnected on the tail end of it, but generally their players like that weren't in the Uber were doing the right thing. They were staying on high ground, not taking too much damage, and then able to just collapse on things at the tail end of it. I think coming into this next map, I mean, obviously it's a lot more dynamic because you're not just fighting over the same ground the entire time, but where obviously gaming needs to, they got to start playing those post-Ubers a little bit more effectively, I think. Because I think that's where they're being let down. Like, their DM is really good, their bombs are like nuts, bro.
If I was to put on my analyst's cap, I would say that, I mean, honestly, the kills are really close. It was only 104 kills total on the side of bAUlls to 102 kills on the side of We're Obviously Gaming. So really, I find that on that map, it wasn't necessarily a matter of DM, as it was just this coordination and recognition of the importance of that objective. Like, the cap time we saw coming out of bAUlls was just absurd. Like, we had game states where We're Obviously Gaming was clearly winning in these more drawn-out fights, managing to bring down these players. We saw Monolith only die 5 times total, half the amount of deaths as Connor, which is a fantastic performance. But if that doesn't translate into point control, then I don't know what to tell you, Snazzy.
You just lose, And I mean, there was at least one occasion where I think We're Obviously Gaming won 2 big team fights in a row. So, you know, a good 30, 40 seconds of time. And at no point during that did they get to capture the point because of the pressure out of bAUlls. bAUlls was really playing that timer very, very, very well. Like, you know, to the point of sort of sacrificing some of their ability to actually fight because they're throwing in a player to just delay that point while the rest of us get there, sort of thing. It was really, really good play out of bAUlls. So I think if We're Obviously Gaming can play the points a little better, play the actual objectives a little better on this map, they're definitely in a position here to cause some mischief.
Yeah, and because we're always a fan of that educational note, that educational little sparkle on these analyst panels. My God, I can't speak today. Maybe it's the caffeine.
It happens to the best of us.
I gotta say, the demonstration of bAUlls in taking these trades and recognizing that when they don't have the point, they want to take a fast fight, and when they do have the point, they want to draw out these fights, is really a testament to their ability to control the map. Like, when they've got point, they want that timer to run down. They don't want to give We're Obviously Gaming the opportunity for these fast fights. So, yeah, it's really, really awesome to see.
Yeah.
Going into this next map, Sunshine, we might see with a little bit less of this sort of high concept strategy going on, more just back and forth. I'm looking to see We're Obviously Gaming maybe take the edge here. I'm really excited because they've been showing such a fantastic ability to find these Ubers, and what better map to find good Ubers on than Sunshine? I mean, we've both been on the receiving end of some pretty nasty Ubers on this map, and I've got to say, We're Obviously Gaming could just have the keys to that. And I mean, it's such a snowbally map. You can win a mid-fight so hard that you're being spawn camped on last on this map. So
100%.
Pretty keen for this.
And like, as much as you say, like, yeah, it might be a little bit more just like standard sort of aggression coming in. I do think that this map, for like, I'll be clear, I don't like Sunshine. I just don't like it. I don't know why. I just don't. But I do think it's a map where a lot of the points do have an ability that, like, at least in a couple of very big ways, you can choose how you want to play them. Like, especially on this mid, like, you can aggress on the left or the right, and that really makes a difference to where the other team can rotate. And I think that We're Obviously Gaming have been doing a good job of catching bAUlls out. I don't really know how else to describe that. They're sort of catching them in a spot where they can't then rotate into what they're trying to do. So I think We're Obviously Gaming might have the edge that they need here as we go into our second map, Sunshine. It's the grand finals, and we're getting closer and closer to a winner. bAUlls now 1 up, and We're Obviously Gaming very keen, I think, to equalise the point advantage here. So tell me what you see.
I mean, Memories with the interesting rollout here. He's gonna roll out a valley here, and we do have some aggression on the left side. They're gonna find a soldier. Hertz hitting a fantastic rocket onto Tachyon there, absolutely stopping him in his tracks. Gonna get really early control of the bell tower in return. Robot Matt also to fall. Oz 2 health in the air. Rowan eventually taking him down, and it's just Raylan and Connor tailing it. Rowan soon to join them, and they're gonna call it on second here. Connor stumbling up the stairs. Bit of a Harry Potter moment there, getting caught underneath. But we will try to collect ourselves here as Tachyon joining the fight. We're going to see a sack wave coming in. Hurts to fall. Looks like it was only a single sack. Oz maybe didn't get the memo there. Maybe didn't have a buff. Hurts going in by himself. Tachyon hitting a good rocket there. Going to push Kataki back. A little bit of aggression on this flank here. He's going to retreat a little bit. It looks like we might have a bit of a stalemate coming out here. bAUlls quick to recognize during that mid-fight as Tachyon was to go down. They just needed to get the fuck out of dodge. And now they're setting up on second. And maybe feeling a bit comfortable here. Oz trying to look for a buff, trying to look for some spam rockets here. Trying to weasel his way. Manifesting an opportunity as Tachyon still brawling on this flank. He's the logs player, Tachyon. Don't know if you know this, but he's farming that damage, and he's allowing Connor to farm those heals as well, as Robot just walks straight through choke. Brings down Gataki, Matt also to bring down Hertz, and Oz going to fall as well. The Force...
They did get the Force.
Oh.
Crazy.
Yeah, a crazy sequence of events. I feel like if they weren't able to bring down Gataki there, it might have been too risky for them to push in, as the Uber does come out from We're Obviously Gaming. They're going to try to look to pick up some players here. Robo going to survive, and it will be Uber advantage going the side of bAUlls here, as Raylan, he's going to look for some play here. I was narrowly missing that air shot, but will bring down Raylan, and nevertheless, bAUlls looking to maybe poke through Cafe here, but recognizing that Raylan is dead, their superstar, they will give We're Obviously Gaming the space they deserve. As Tachyon landing on top of Rue to be brought down weak. And a little bit of cafe brawling going on here. It doesn't look like this is a real fight. Both teams
I think
will
it
respect
is.
each
Matt
other. And
through
bAUlls
the choke.
walking through. Oh, Connor actually drops to that. That's actually crazy disrespect. Like, Oz should hit those rockets. Connor, I don't know why he doesn't pop to that third. But
Oh my god.
I actually don't know what to say. Connor should have used there. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication. Maybe he thought he had a scout with him that was already on top of Oz, but we're going to see a quick fight breaking out here as the bAUlls players forced to make some sort of salvage play lest they get caught on last. And a pause.
A rightful pause. Someone needs to go around the corners and splash some water in his face or something, man. You got to wake up.
Yeah, wash your face, Connor.
That was some really interesting fighting coming out of both teams there. I think We're Obviously Gaming have been doing a really good job of exactly what we were talking about, like their way that they need to be sort of playing the actual points as this point the pause comes off. They like with their Uber at one point there, they used specifically to block the midpoint because they just wanted to maintain that cap, which I think was the correct play there. But now they're playing this sort of like more passive play to try to just keep rolling the time a little bit and keep getting ready as Robot comes in behind, does get minced.
This time.
Big old soldier jump, trying to get out there, does manage to get away. So We're Obviously Gaming now in a position to actually start trying to get into last. They're getting this second point. There's still that one player ad. They look very, very keen, coming straight through that lower area. Uber does get used. Counter Uber out of bAUlls here. They have had to flash a couple, but losing their demo man. Connor absolutely new to We're Obviously Gaming's ability to fight that last.
That could be the opportunity bAUlls need. With that demo pick, it's actually very feasible to push out of Sunshine last off of a demo pick because he's just not there to hold that shutter down. And We're Obviously Gaming forced to hightail here. Rowan looking for a pick. He actually does bring down Rue, but losing his life to Oz, I'm not sure if I favor that trade for the side of bAUlls. I think We're Obviously Gaming does feel quite happy with that, as Rue will get the forward spawns and he'll be joining them somewhat soon. They will be able to hold off the aggression of bAUlls because they just don't have that scout alive for them and they weren't able to muscle it. Something I've noticed that We're Obviously Gaming is doing really well so far is they are counting Ubers superbly. And what we noticed before is they only started giving bAUlls space when they had that Uber card to play. And prior to that, they were just holding those doorways, right? But without that Uber, there's no reason to back off. We may as well hold all these doorways close. And it's really, really
there
good
is
to see.
a spy going through a doorway behind there. Does get spotted out almost immediately. Scout now trying to pick him up, but that means that bAUlls now know there is definitely a spy, which they have managed to pick up. So now they are not just functionally a player down, they are straight up a player down on the side of the We're Obviously Gaming team here. Bit of aggression on the flank, trying to get in there. I think it might just be a reset as Raylan goes down super low in that cafe area. Does manage to get out, gets a bow, and I think it'll just be a classic TF2 reset.
Yeah, I don't mind Spy going into this like mid aggressing onto second. I think it opens up a good amount of opportunities. First of all, you get to spot out that medic positioning, which can be really crucial for sending players like Hertz in to make some sort of play happen. That's the sort of intel you can get with a Spy. Unfortunately, they don't succeed with their double soldier sack. So that's going to allow bAUlls the leeway to muscle their way through choke here.
Yeah, they just lost mid off that one, man. There's nothing more to say. It was an abortive attempt, and it just meant that they had to back out of the point. It's such a dangerous point to try to fight because it's so open. If you down players, very good.
And this is one of these things that's like, if you send a double soldier from mid into second on Sunshine, you are risking, like, if you lose both of those soldiers, you are missing two absolutely crucial classes in stabilizing that mid hold, which is why bAUlls was so easily able to re-aggress and push them back out. Tachyon, Galen, also to fall, making the exact same mistake that I just talked about. So looks like We're Obviously Gaming are going to just walk into mid. So
time is a flat circle.
Yeah, the reason why this is so scary is because Matt can just get caught in the side like this. They sort of need to commit to one doorway. They're going to use out the Uber here, but their post Uber is not going to be anywhere near as... Oh, Rowan making things happen here. Hurt's going to get brought down, and somehow bAUlls are just going to put on a miracle show here. Rowan and Tachyon going to fall, but, I mean, we're obviously gaming shouldn't have lost any players for that. So it's honestly a miracle that they get any players at all.
Yeah, I think bAUlls did a really good job with that post Uber that was so grim for them. They had a couple of players that had floated around in like a back area where they hadn't taken too much damage, and they were able to get a couple of crucial frags and actually slow down We're Obviously Gaming here. Because I think if that fight had gone the way it looked like it was going to go, We're Obviously Gaming would now be stabilizing like in lobby.
Yes,
they definitely
exactly.
would be way further forward, and it would give them that opportunity to start getting into the last. They probably would have picked up Connor. They'd have Ubrad, but as it stands, it's resetting just now to an even Uber situation. It was a little bit bad for bAUlls, but nothing usable. But yeah,
this is the edge that bAUlls get. Right? They're able to make these risky plays because they understand like what the win condition rests upon. Like if they lose Matt there, that's okay as long as their players are healthy enough to take that fight. So they can commit to that doorway, but as long as they're able to channel their aggression elsewhere and punish those players, it doesn't necessarily look too bad for bAUlls. That said, it is hard to overstate how important soldiers are at stabilizing this second to mid hold on this map. As we see Tachyon going for a play onto Oz here. Oz going to look for another rocket onto Robor. Gataki going to fall, however, so Oz doesn't have the support of that scout with it. Not necessarily a good trade. Oz going to look for this pack. Oh, it's so sketchy. Robor just walks into a 112 rocket, however, and gets punished for it. Raylan and Matt manage to collapse onto memories, however, and Rue dancing around. Raylan will bring him down. Oz, he's on top of them. The force comes out. Matt's going to fall by Oz, and Oz, although he loses his life, massively impactful there. As it's going to gift his team full Uber advantage that honestly could not have been done without all the space he was making behind them. I mean, that could have gone absolutely devastating
handed
for
it
them.
to his team on the platter, man. Gold or silver, it literally doesn't even matter. They just did an absolutely excellent job there. They just had to keep their medic alive. Big old bomb out. Scout in as well, and the drop comes
drops
through.
to the crater.
So tragic. That last little chip shot out of Robor, just what they needed to get the damage. 70 damage right at the tail end while he was in the air. That is grim for We're Obviously Gaming, as we are now 15 minutes into this map with 0 points on the board.
Yeah, it's a drawn out one, but we will see the team of bAUlls face up against the Uber disadvantage stabilize here. So they're going to look to aggress, but they crucially don't want to use their Uber here because their advantage is so big. They want to be able to muscle this for free. Oz looks for some sort of salvage play. Gataki trying to find a soldier here. Will bring down Tachyon, but Gataki and Hurts both to fall. So bAUlls are given that muscle, but they lose two. Memories managing to bring down Matt with a well-placed trap there. So they don't use their Uber, but they're also similarly disadvantaged in taking this Uber ad in the next engagement here, as bAUlls looks like it might even out onto last unless they can take this really quick. As Monolith already on 85%, it looks like it will be an even Uber's last situation. We might have seen if Matt was able to stay alive there, maybe they would have maintained that Uber advantage. But these are the small little quirks with this medic macro that these teams are so well aware of. And it really helps that both medics do have the Solemn Vow equipped. So if we have any aspiring medic mains in chat, it is worth considering the power of knowing every percentage point of advantage or disadvantage you have, because that can truly turn the tides of a lot of these fights, especially at the highest level, as we're seeing this evening.
I mean, look, I've been a proponent of ignoring the Solemn Vow for years because, you can count it pretty close anyway. But it is hard to overstate how incredibly useful it is to know exactly what they're on. It's kind of insane. It should be cheated.
I love this Thompson. This Thompson is clean. Because if he even scrapes Connor, that can be an opportunity for Oz and Hertz primed right at the doorway to take that aggressive bomb, trying to land on Shutter and try and punish Connor for peeking his head. Unfortunately, no Thompson shots have been hit so far.
Who knows, though? Who knows?
It's a dream. It's a dream that every engineer player has, every flank scout has, that one day they'll make the Thompson a useful weapon. As Matt gonna look for some spam onto the gun here, making sure to back these soldiers away and protect his soldiers so that they can spam alongside him. It doesn't look like they've been given that opportunity yet.
Yeah,
as we were saying about the Solemn Vow, I have to say, Monolith might be one of the best Solemn Vow users that this league might have ever seen. And I don't mean to glaze this guy, but his awareness of when he can find these sightlines onto the enemy medic is like, I learned so much from it last season, and it helped my medic play a lot, and it really helped me think of ways that you can just abuse this melee weapon that a lot of people don't even really consider. And a lot of the time
it was banned for years. Oh my god, Matt dying to the sentry, taking just a little too much damage. The Uber did get used, but it's a flub. A total flub.
What the cringe. Piss fart, Uber. They just have to back off now. Oh my god.
Yeah, bAUlls definitely in a position here, but they can't really do much to defend second. They can throw a couple players in. Raylan and both scouts coming forward, trying to do something. They do manage to pick up one of the scouts, and that might actually reset things, but yeah, that was absolutely insane. Matt just stepping into the wrong sight line. A rocket caught him at the same time as he was trying to come through the wall. Yeah, grim.
Top seed, by the way, as Raylan will just fall to this Hertz jumping down. It's getting a little scrappy here. Both teams need to chill out, have a glass of water, think about how they're actually going to approach this. It is a tough gun to bring down, right? They need to be wary about how they can make use of damage onto soldiers, maybe to narrow a little bit of a gap here to shoot at the gun. But Hertz and Oz doing such a fantastic job at protecting this sentry. The sentry can't protect itself. So really, really crucial here that Oz and Hertz are just mirroring where this combo is aggressing from. And Rue also to help. The Uber will come in. See, where obviously Gaming might be looking for somewhat of a stalemate here. Punishing Matt in the aggression. It's not an ideal trade. It's a trade you take if you really, really need that opportunity. But with only 12 seconds left on the clock.
Crazy, dude. He swapped to the Frontier Justice right at the tail end as they came in to use that Uber. He was ready to swap immediately, so he had these crits. He's got the crits on the Frontier Justice. He does a bit of damage. Raylan and Robot going down as we see the reset, the banning config coming into action, and we're going to be resetting to a mid-fight here, which is, if you are the We're Obviously Gaming team here, you are so chuffed. You are so happy with that.
We have about 10 minutes left on the old timer before it does go into the Baniel configuration, but
it's all part of it, you know what I mean?
All part of the play. All part of the play. Stalemate comes out. Memories with the early aggression, trying to lock down Choke here, but none of the bAUlls players walking through Choke. They've all opted to walk through Valley this time around, and going to use this as an opportunity to aggress onto Tetris, landing on top of Monolith, who sails back. Monolith to fall, Rue to fall, Memories to fall. They do bring down Connor in return, however, so both medics falling, but bAUlls are very, very happy with the outcome of this mid-fight. Tachyon hitting a fantastic rocket onto Hertz there. Unfortunately, Rowan will fall, but absolutely nasty. Ladies and gentlemen, these soldier players on the side of bAUlls, it's like they dare them to jump. And mind you, this is Hertz we're talking about. This isn't like your run-of-the-mill noun, adjective, number, alias. This is Hertz, right?
Yeah, and on top of that, Oz on the other side hit one of the filthiest rockets I've ever seen on mid, as we see yet more fighting going on. Monolith dead again. Connor still alive. Very, very keen on this second point, but you may notice that they're actually running Crit Screed, which I don't know if We're Obviously Gaming are aware of.
It is Monolith. I would not put it past him.
Surely. Telepathic.
If not, they're going to get a very rude awakening about 5 seconds from now.
Yeah.
As Matt, he's going to look probably top right. I would say is probably the highest probability at catching a crit sticky onto these players, and he will decide for that direction. Oh, sensing a bit of spam, they will bring down the sentry gun. Going to look for left-hand side again. Making out there. Rue going to full. Gonna need to get some stickies on these spawn doors. He does get a sticky on the left-hand side here. Hurts to fall. Connor to fall, however, but three players down on the side of Where Obviously Gaming make that 4. Gataki also going down, and that just allows these bAUlls players to stand on top of point. Memories has to make some sort of salvage play, but that is the first round of the game going to the side of bAUlls. And
23 minutes deep.
This is a really, really common thought process that we have with crits is you don't necessarily need to get picks in the fight. It can just be a matter of taking space. Like if you have if you aren't under threat of them getting Uber, the threat of crits can force these players out of position and give your team so much breathing room in these fights. As we're going into this next round mid-fight, Matt trying to bring down Gataki and Oz, going to fall to Robor and Rowan. But they lose Matt and Tachyon.
Looking a little bit better for bAUlls here. They've actually managed to pick up just a couple more gamers, even if they'd lost that crucial player in the form of Matt. But Raylan's in here deep, getting a bit of knowledge, getting a bit of ground here as Connor and one of his scouts ready to go straight through choke here. They're keen, both scouts there now. They've also got Raylan just in behind. Robor's in so deep, no support, no problems. He doesn't give a shit, bro. This is crazy. I can see Oz in behind, does end up going down, but gets just a bit of delay on there, and enough for the rest of the team to now start aggressing while they've got a tiny bit of player ad here, and they've got those heals, but they do, I think, make probably the smart decision and back off and reset this to another spot where they can start trying to poke for angles. But with 5 minutes left on the clock before we go into the bAUll config, they're going to have to start moving with some gusto if they want to really make this work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Something I really like is we'll talk about it maybe after this spy play. If they manage to find Raylan, who's decloaking now, they will find him. But as I was just about to say, what I like about the scout soldier sack into second from mid is it's all the benefits of an effective sack wave with multiple people sending it in for the med without the disadvantage of being down a soldier in that stabilized hold once you're down those 2 players. Like, say you don't get anything, they still had Tachyon up and ready to hold one of these doorways to alleviate that pressure from Matt. And that's such a crucial insight into why this top team can make some of these decisions. Like, from our perspective, we see Robor running in guns blazing. And I feel like it's quite thoughtful. It's quite an interesting move. They're willing to admit that they might not get anything from this. So why not send a scout in as a player that's not immediately required to stabilize, have the play not gone as well. Robor coming up on the sniper here, going to find Oz, going to look for another angle here. Monolith showing himself for a little bit. He will use the Uber for good reason, as Raylan going to be stuck behind. He's going to try and hit some directs onto Gataki, but keeping his distance, Monolith unfortunately will get caught because these We're Obviously Gaming players are just busy dealing with the players behind. And they are forced to make some sort of salvage play, but Connor maintaining his health here. Tachyon going to be alive alongside of him. And it looks like they might tail it here, as the We're Obviously Gaming players are slightly more prime to continue that fight.
A couple of the singular most crucial arrows I have ever seen hit on Tachyon during that fight. At least twice, Tachyon was on single-digit health for not even a split second, milliseconds. Just crazy stuff. Gataki going down, Robor going down, so does Oz. It's looking a little bit better and better for bAUlls every second.
Yeah, I mean, Tachyon recognizing that Oz would go for that pack there, counter-bombing him and landing in that position. But Matt and Tachyon going to get brought down with the substantial damage of Hertz there. Is going to falter the bAUlls' aggression. They're going to try to look for a little bit of cap time here. They will actually use their Uber. This is actually a crazy play. Rowan might find Monolith here. Manages to miss a few too many crucial pistol shots, and that will allow Monolith to stay alive. I really like that Uber play coming out, but it is so crucial that they hit shots there as Oz gonna get brought down here. We're gonna have some players caught in by this Uber, Robo and Raylan both to fall. But I think, all things considered, as long as they don't lose Tachyon here, I think they will actually. Oh, they lose Matt. Hertz is actually on top of them. Connor and Rowan also to fall. Okay, that went way better. But we're obviously gaming than I thought it was gonna go. Ball's just like overstaying there a bit.
I'm kind of amazed that that actually went so well for We're Obviously Gaming there. Like, they really managed to collapse on players that were out of place a couple of times, and players just kept getting out of place. I don't know if it was a time reduction, you know, anxiety or something, but man, there was just so much going on where players on balls were not in the spot that they needed to be, and they were just dying for, honestly, kind of nothing. And look, it's put We're Obviously Gaming in a real position here to turn this into a round. 100% Uber against the 60% that come through on that top right-hand side. They're deep onto the point already. No kills so far. Not a lot of positioning either. The Demo Man going down as well. It's actually going to make things a lot harder. They've got a lot of time on the point. No one's really doing anything to block it. And they're finally getting some kills. There's so many kills going back forth that it's hard to tell who is actually coming out on top, but it is looking a little bit better for bAUlls here. Raylan going down, but managing to pick up the last soldier, and it is just Monolith and one of their scouts getting on out of there. So close for We're Obviously Gaming, man.
Yeah, I think they were looking to get a few too many picks, so they decided to prioritize kills instead of cap time, and that's really small decision making can cost them a last push despite being full Uber advantage. As Rowan picking up Kataki going to this next fight. However, the Uber will come out. They aren't at risk of being Ubered back into straight away, so they might look to aggress here, making use of the fact that they got a pick onto Gataki. But We're Obviously Gaming are looking quite primed for it. Gonna try and stabilize here as a soldier does manage to break free from that hold. Raylan will eventually go down, however. Rue looking for a play here. Robo to fall. Rue, Oz both falling, and Tachyon with 3 down. Make that 4. Connor also dying on the side of bAUlls, and with only Matt alive, it's scary things for bAUlls here.
Yeah, absolutely. 20 seconds left on the clock before we go to Banny config as well. They're capping that second point. They have so many more players alive. They are here with the Uber. They have to worry about this sniper Robo there. They have actually used that Uber a little earlier than they might have wanted to, just to try to avoid that. What? They get such a good flash. That's insane. They pick up 2 players, 3 players. They do lose 1, but they picked up Matt as well. It's just Robo and Connor.
Memories hit maybe one of the nastiest pipes on a scout I think I've ever seen. He bounced Rowan into the air and hit an absolute, like, I'm gonna steal from Glitchy in the chat. It was a life pipe. I mean, Rowan just like hard strafed around to Memories' left, but the flick was perfectly primed and the pipe just absolutely nails him. Yeah, Mr. Memories
stuff.
Making memories in that last push. As we're going to see some early aggression into choke. Connor going to fall at the very start of this mid-fight. Monolith very, very well protected in Valley here. We're Obviously Gaming going to back up slowly, anticipating the aggression of bAUlls. bAUlls losing Connor, but 4 alive. They're going to go back, collect Connor very soon. Or Connor might just wait for Rowan to spawn. And we will see an Uber advantage going away of We're Obviously Gaming. So although bAUlls pick this one up, they might not be healthy enough to stabilize on this mid. But never mind. Looks like We're Obviously Gaming doesn't feel like taking that fight, but that's okay. That's okay. Maybe they prefer the slower approach, and they might just look to take an Uber, utilize this Uber rather than trying to encourage a fight that they might not be well prepared for. As Oz taking a little bit of a brawl in Cafe. Don't mind the look of this. Could be an interesting opening here. Is Rue going to get dropped down really weak? But picking up Robo, the Uber will come out, picking up Tachyon as well. Make that threefold Raylan, and it is a fantastic Uber. Although bAUlls are about to get
Matt.
Uber themselves. Oh,
Yeah.
Matt. God. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
That
Matt
sucks for
being a
Balls.
little out of position there means that this is actually a really, really excellent gamer. Uber out of We're Obviously Gaming. The We're Obviously Gamers. They do get a bit of aggression into this last year. They've actually got quite a bit of time on the point already. They've kept almost all of their players alive, only losing one scout, and they managed to get the Uber out of that. So now they're staring at like a massive, massive advantage, and they've got them right where they want them. They've got them locked in the last. This could be We're Obviously Gaming's round if they play this right.
It was truly the worst case scenario for Balls. Not only did they get pushed all the way to last, but the Uber was also taken from them. So, God, I mean, there's so many things that you wish could have gone better there, and there were so many mistakes that just all piled up, and We're Obviously Gaming able to make use of every single one of those mistakes with steady aggression and a well-coordinated push, as they will take their Uber into last here. Oz going for some delayed pushing on right side. Gonna see if he can pick up Raylan. He does. Alongside the gun, getting brought down by Memories. Hurts narrowly missing the rocket onto Matt there. Tachyon and Rowan also to fall. Hurts and Oz dying themselves, but Matt, Connor, and Robor, the Uber will come out. Memories still caught in, 76 HP, dancing around the other side of this last point here. Robor, he's primed and ready, manages to peek. But Memories, he's still alive, 35 HP, dancing around this point, eventually brought down by Robor to the taunt. And a very, very good last hold from Balls. And I mean, it's so awkward. It looks like We're Obviously Gaming are really ambitious with these Ubers. They don't sink enough resources into this cap time as the next fight is breaking out. Tachyon to bring down Hurts, Raylan also to fall, however. So an early trade of these soldiers is not looking good for either of these teams in staying in the fight. So that's gonna mean both teams are sort of gonna lick their wounds here a little bit. Tachyon brought down weak. They're gonna have to try and support him. Gonna try and get into this mid-fight row and bring down Gatakian. Actually looks all right for Balls. We had a couple players on the side of
clean sweep here, man.
Yeah, we had a couple players falling weak there, but unfortunately, We're Obviously Gaming and Co. not able to clean up those kills, and that unfortunately made all the difference. As our Balls not getting punished for their aggression will succeed in carrying that advantage, as it will stalemate out on this mid to second.
Their Balls are very, very keen here. Big old bomb out of one of their soldiers gets quite a bit of damage onto some of the We're Obviously Gaming players, but does end up going down, and it's just going to be a bit of a reset. In fact, We're Obviously Gaming could maybe try to poke here, but I think they're making the right play by playing this one safe and just resetting. They're in a position here where if they play a couple of these fights correctly, they can get themselves back where they want to be on that second and start prodding that last point. Because with this, essentially infinite quote-unquote timer on this map now, it's really still anyone's game, and this has been so close the whole way through, man. I'm gobsmacked.
We've had lots of mistakes on behalf of both teams. The wise old gentleman, unfortunately, too wise and too old to take a reserved Uber push into last. And our Balls, unfortunately, losing too many players in these more drawn-out fights, including Connor, who has died in a lot of these prolonged engagements.
As Tachyon Sniper.
I don't mind. Tachyon Sniper is sort of fierce.
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
out Brian Lander, as he'll look for a pick here. Will stay alive for long enough. Gonna find a headshot onto Hurts. Hurts will get rebuffed with an arrow there. Tachyon and Raylan both to fall, and Ball's gonna have to tail it here. As Hurts jumping up to Bell Tower, gonna look for a pick. Any players that are still caught in, Robor to fall. That's three down on the side of Balls. The wise old gentleman looking to capture up this central point, and looking to maintain this aggression here. Maybe healing up their soldiers a little bit on the way. I was receiving a buff there, and they're going to try to muscle it in. They do need to be wary, as both teams still have Uber charge, potentially looking for a trade here. Rowan needs to walk up, needs to maintain control here of this fight. They end up using the Uber, but this trade does not get Monolith involved. Monolith, clearly understanding the direction of that fight, decides to position himself quite passive, not getting forced out.
Right one.
Oh,
Whelan getting the force right at the tail end of all that fighting. What a crucial bomb to help them defend the last point here. With their spawns now, they can probably hold this. That was just excellent play. The timing out of that one was just nuts. The way that he landed on top of Monolith while Monolith was like focused on other stuff because they looked like they were winning the fight, that was just excellent.
Yep. I mean, with this bAUlls team, like, there's always another ball you need to contend with. You know, you're juggling 5 balls, and then the 6th ball comes in, and sometimes you're not ready for him, and sometimes that 6th ball, his name's Raylan. And,
yeah, if only.
If only. As we see Oz on the sniper here, might look to mimic some of the impact that we've seen from other snipers this game so far.
Oz is a bit of a nightmare on sniper, I'm not gonna lie. He's really not bad at getting some really just greasy shots peeking through that lower area. I think they may have seen the dot. They've certainly heard the shot now, so they know he's there.
They've spotted him out. Not going to stop them from peeking the angle anyway, but they've spotted him out. Oz, going to look to rotate here. Might be able to pick up Matt if Matt isn't privy to the rotation of this sniper. Going to get a nice body shot there. 150 damage onto Rowan. Doesn't get that follow-up body shot, so Rowan will survive. He might look for another peek here. Make sure to fully scope in before peeking the corner. Oh, a nice flick onto Tachyon.
See you later, buddy.
Tachyon. Goodbye. Night. Down for 16 seconds as the trade will come out here. Going to make the most of their one-player advantage here as Rue going to get left alone on point. They do get a little bit of cap time here, but bring down Monolith in the post. The Uber will come out. They're going to punish a lot of these players on wise old gentlemen that are still caught in, including Oz, who will fall. They do need to be very careful that no one has leaked underwards. Raylan going to collapse onto Gataki, and they do know us another soldier is down there. Right as they're capping up second, Kurt's probably announcing to his team that they're all on me, before quickly going down. Sorry, that was my Oz impression. That's my Elmo impression. But, you know, I'm still working on my Hurts. Have you got any TF2 player impressions, Snazzy?
I would perish the thought, my friend. I would absolutely perish the thought. I can't willfully let any of those out in a public forum. Big old bomb out of Raylan takes quite a bit of attention. They have picked up the middle point on the side of bAUlls here as well. Raylan's still alive. It's gonna look pretty good for him here. It's roughly even Ubers, but with the 2-player ad, they're actually looking very keen to get in there. But with the respawns now, they're still keen. I thought they might actually delay a little bit, but Raylan's in there. He's picked up one. Their sentry has gone down as well. They've got a little bit of time on the point. They have got all the players stumbled in on that right-hand side. They get the Uber force. They've still got their Uber. Connor's still alive, but they've lost 3 players now. Raylan, Tachyon, and Rohan. It's dangerous.
It was so cringe having Oz still on the sniper there. Like, had he been on Soldier, maybe he could have held off bAUlls from seeking that aggression, and maybe could have counter-bombed as they were running in, but they just didn't have the mobility there on the side of We're Obviously Gaming, and they get so sorely punished for it.
Amazed that they weren't able to hang on to that Uber. I got to be real with you, man. It's just crazy. But look, they're getting in there now. They're trying to make some stuff happen. Raylan goes down. Matt does pick up one of the scouts. There's a bunch of frags going back and forth. The fight is still ongoing on the point, but I do think bAUlls is coming out on the bottom end of this one. Connor trying to flee almost 50%. That's actually worth hanging on to if he can get away. But he's looking like he's in dire straits, bro, and I don't mean the band.
They sunk so many resources into killing Rue there that they just weren't able to maintain that fight. They were just losing so much, and they eventually needed to give up that space as Matt gets caught by Oz peeking around the corner. Oz will lose his life in return, but I think We're Obviously Gaming is pretty happy with that, as Robot going to look for some sort of salvage play, going to try and get some cap time onto second, try to run around the... Nah, he doesn't even go for second. He tries to go for a play here as the Uber comes out for We're Obviously Gaming. Going to look for some additional players here. One soldier caught in the clock tower. Never mind. Tachyon's just out. Playing those jump maps before the official always pays off. He just flies away. No clipping. straight out of that fight. It's Tachyon.
Yeah.
Ooh, almost
Raylan
hitting a
and,
nice damage on
Tachyon
the
did a
guitar.
really good bomb to get the force out
Oh
there.
my god, Matt! What? That just did so much damage to Hurts just then.
Holy cow. Oh my lord.
Oh my god, who needs a combo scout when you've got Matt as your demo, man? He's just like area denial.
Being
as
on the
he's gonna
receiving
take
end of that
space.
one's one of the ones where you gotta go look in the mirror for a little bit afterwards too. Like that's grim.
Yeah, it's not something you like the feeling of, especially in Banny overtime 1-1. Like to be the one that's potentially costed your team a fight, potentially costed your team a round there. But we still see Wise Old Gentleman still hanging on here, trying to do some damage through Cafe, gonna bring down Memories. That's a huge pick.
That's huge.
Raylan also staying alive, sneaking his way behind here. We've got Gitaki trying to get some damage onto Tachyon with the assistance of Oz there. But Raylan, he manages to get out. The Uber's going to come out. The trade will end up evolving here with the Uber slightly better for bAUlls. Going to pick up Raylan, however, on the side of We're Obviously Gaming. Robor going to pick up Gitaki before losing his own life with 3 down on the side of bAUlls. We're Obviously Gaming are able to take this straight through choke, see if they can pick up any players as they're trying to backpedal all the way through Valley here. And it looks like We're Obviously Gaming going to pick up that mid fight.
Yeah, I mean, look, they might actually need to change what their acronym stands for. It might be we're obviously getting points here, mate.
Yeah. We're obviously
which-
taking Sunshine.
Yeah, well, good taking maybe? Anyway.
Good taking. I like that. I like that. Go take it is like
yeah,
something. Something
Anyway.
like that. Something like that.
Hey, they've got this midpoint. It is going to be a reset, Uber-wise, but I think We're Obviously Gaming are probably in a position where they can start trying to make things actually happen here. They are poking through that choke. They're sort of looking for a way to get in there. Maybe a double soldier bomb. I'm not really sure exactly what they want to do here, but... Oh no, okay, so they bring the heels around into that flowers area. They're sending one of their soldiers through, take a bit of attention. The other one comes through choke on the back end of that one. So much damage onto Connor. Not quite enough. Holy cow, that was a really cool bomb, man.
Yeah,
I
I
like that one. I'm
really
stealing that.
liked that. It's become really popular with these top teams. Is they try to muscle from Valley and they use that space from Valley to sneak a soldier in. Unfortunately, Rue will get taken down here. As bAUlls electing to push through choke here, trying to push through as many doors as they can. Rowan getting caught out. Oh, Hurts narrowly missing that rocket onto Rowan. Gonna need an arrow from Connor there. Fortunately, he's good for it, as We're Obviously Gaming gonna use out the Uber charge. And oh my god, it's not ideal for them, as Gitaki will fall. And bAUlls, they're just able to absolutely swamp up these players. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there from We're Obviously Gaming. They didn't want to take that fight on some of their players, but some of their players already caught in, forced to shoot back. And I mean, that's what happens when you're not well coordinated against a team like bAUlls, is they will really abuse you for it. As they start capping up this second, and it will be somewhat even Ubers going into this last hold. Rue sitting like a sentry on top of these barrels. Good lay of the land. Keen eyes, gonna try to bring down Raylan as Raylan soaring in. Tachyon approaching from the other side here. The sentry will go down, and a little bit of cap time. Tachyon is still alive. He just didn't get shot at. Robor gonna bring down Oz, and this could be everything the team needs. Robor bring down Memories as well before falling. Gitaki finally bringing down Robor as well as Raylan, but that is so much value from those 3 players on the side of bAUlls that We're Obviously Gaming not even able to aggress. It's too risky. We need to stay on last, even Ubers.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably the right play to stay on last there. But with bAUlls swapping out to a sniper yet again, this could get a little bit dodgy for We're Obviously Gaming here. I mean, if they stand in one of these sightlines, especially with Sheep on sniper, I mean, he really does live up to his name. You know, the old Sheep would be proud, I think.
Yeah.
As he peeks through on this right-hand side, getting a bit of a sight line, not quite able to make it happen. Gets one of the scouts down very, very, very low. But it's not quite enough. Shot straight
Gitaki
through onto the engineer. That's actually a big pick here, actually, because it means you can spam that gun so much more. They do end up picking up the sniper. With the gun down as well, it's looking pretty good. They are sending a soldier through. They get the force, Raylan!
Oh my god, how? We
How
had
did you get that?
Oz counter jumping there, and Connor not even using this Uber charge in return. Raylan to spawn in only 7 seconds before we see another fight break out. Actually unreal performance
That is an insane force. I had no idea how he got away with that, bro.
I mean, Raylan,
That's
really
fucking crazy.
If there's anyone who can make use of the fact that no one is shepherding that sheep, it's Raylan. Like, he just gets straight through that doorway. The Uber will come out top right here, going to land on top of that gun, going to bring down that gun quite quickly here as Robot chasing around these players. Oz looking for some sort of anti-point play. Rue on the heavy weapons guy here, going to try to bring down these players. Raylan, Rowan, Tachyon, all to fall. Oh, Robot also dying, and it's just Connor yet alive.
I was sitting here literally out loud being like, it's the end. It's not the end. Oh my god.
It's not
no one focused the heavy. What happened?
We might see the longest grand final in ozfortress history if it continues this way.
I mean, I think the current record is still something like, I think it was about 6 hours total.
Oh yeah, please,
for like
please
a
no.
4 final eons ago before there was a timer. But anyway,
Oh
the Uber has come out. They haven't really managed to pick anything up with it. We're obviously gaming managing to get into that middle point. They have lost quite a few players as Robor's still up on the sniper. Sheep still trying to make things
Rowan.
happen. Big old bomb straight through onto the medic. Is Oz going to be able to make it happen? Dude, he's so low. Not quite.
Oh god, that could have gone so catastrophically. They were down, Rowan, so they were lacking that hit scan to be able to repel some of these salvage plays. Fortunately, Robor finds a few body shots. Fortunately, Matt is able to put a few stickies on the ground, but that was only a shadow away from going absolutely in the other direction. As bAUlls, with the full Uber advantage here, only 60% on the Uber of Monolith here, going to look to aggress through here, but they do have a sniper, so they need to be wary of that. They're going to use the Uber charge. Robor doesn't have a buff for this post Uber, but it might not matter as he's holding this doorway. Going to bring down Gataki. That's a great opening to this fight, and it's just over.
That finally someone shot a heavy.
Gosh. Yeah. The heavy, slow peeking through that shutter door.
There. Very, very good stuff out of Sheep there to kill that heavy. And finally bring an end to this map. And that takes us to 2 maps to 0 in this best of 5. So
my gosh.
bAUlls now on the verge of greatness. Season 44 might just be theirs. But before we do that, we better talk about these logs here. We better talk about the next map. We better see where this beautiful life is going to take us.
Yeah, if we don't talk about these logs, Snazzy and I will be taken into someone's backyard and shot. So I guess
Given the old yeller, yeah.
Better talk about these numbers on my screen right here. Now, I gotta say, we had lots of stalemates here. So these numbers don't exactly paint the full picture, but considering the frequency of these stalemates, the fact that Robor was still able to get 276 DPM is actually crazy. On a scout, considering this was such a long and drawn out Sunshine map, like, to still be in the higher 200s on scout is so crazy. Like, managing to find damage
for like a third of the map too.
Yeah, where is he finding this damage? But he finds it anyway. Gotta say, Oz putting on a similarly grand performance, finding so many opportunities for the wise old gentleman. But honestly, I just wish they were able to capitalize on it more. Like, Monolith still managing to stay alive. Gataki and Rue bringing down so many of these plays. And the kills, yet again, like, are so narrow. These fights could really have gone either way. But bAUlls, they'll take it. Going into this next map, Process. And if you don't mind, Snazzy, talking a bit about Process while I close my window.
Absolutely, mate. I can tell these gamers all about Process. So you know that map that we just watched? It was called Sunshine. Imagine that one, but with a little bit less visual amenity, and you've got Process. So it'll be pretty much exactly what we just saw, I think. But I actually would back. We're obviously gaming on this one. I mean, they're pretty big pug gamers in my head, at least, and this is the classic pug map. So look, I think it's going to be a bit more of the same, but maybe a little bit different. And especially, I do want to talk about, because Oz was so involved in almost every fight, whether it was initiating or coming in right at the tail end to really do some mincing, turn some people into a little bit of lean mincemeat.
Speaking of pugs, if you're in chat and you've played a pug with either Oz or Memories in the past month, can you type 1? Because I feel like these guys are always in pugs. Every time I check Fried Pugs, not sponsored, I feel like I see these guys playing them. They're always added up. They're always ready to go. Yeah. And although no one's typing 1, maybe I've lost my touch. Maybe the voice of the people is not with me at the moment. But it's fine. It's fine.
But either way, what I'm getting at is, I think with Oz in particular, this map is so insane for soldier bombs. I think Oz is really going to be able to run amok. And the dude has this uncanny ability to like worm his way into situations that you wouldn't really expect a soldier to be able to get himself into, especially on maps like these. They're a bit more loose and flowy. The Sunshine I joke about how Sunshine and Process are the same map, but they are quite different. Sunshine's a lot more compartmentalized, whereas Process, it is a lot more flowy, and this might be very vibes based and not very fact based. But I think a lot of people would probably agree with me on that one, that the connectors between the points on Process here are a lot less significant. It's a lot harder to sort of stalemate a point and be like, I'm fine. Like on Process, if you're not looking at certain things all the time, like you're just gonna get spanked. Like, so if they let Oz sort of run amok, I think he can really do some fucking bizarre stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, like, it's would be so devastating for WOG to get knocked out in this map. Like, some of these players have been around for eons. If they were to pick up this season, I mean, like, just Oz and Memories, they're the dynamic duo. They've been in the scene for yonks, and I feel like it would be so fantastic for them to stay in this competition, for them to pick up the next map. And I mean, Itaki as well, like he's been such a feature of the community for the past few years now. God, I really want it for these blokes.
Like this entire time, absolute menace on Scout.
Yep. And that said, Rowan and Raylan, this is their second, I believe their second grand final that they've managed to play in, following from I think it was last season. So it would mean the world for them as well, Rowan and Raylan, to pick up a first. So yeah, it would be great to see from them as well. Like, it's such an important grand final for a lot of these players. Some have experienced the grand final wins in their hair before. I know Hertz and Mad, and of course a lot of the other players on the side of bAUlls, Sheep, 100% has been around the block a few times at this point. But yeah, Connor as well, managing to go to Denver last year. Yeah, I really want these guys to make it work.
Well, I'm going to have to step away briefly, so why don't you tell us more about how they got here and what you expect out of this map while I'm just away very briefly.
Very, very well. I mean, it's so awesome to see these two teams come together. They've been playing together a lot for the past few seasons, and it's really all coming to a test here. I know some of these players might take a game like this more seriously than others, but it's really awesome that we can bring together the community to watch a game like this and have these players who pour so much time and energy into putting on a show for you guys. It's really awesome, and I think that the opportunity that we have of listening to these players, and they have such an active voice in the community. They're able to teach us so much about the game. Like, I was fortunate enough to play on a team with Matt just recently, and was able to grow so much as a player. And I know that for the people that care a lot about this game, being able to learn from the people that are the very best and have formed on the world stage is like such a cool opportunity, and you don't see it in many esports. It's truly something that a grassroots thing like the Australian TF2 community can provide, and it can literally be something as easy as just playing a few pugs with these guys. You learn so much about how certain fights are being controlled, and although they do tend to troll, and certain people might use certain shield weapons on the demo, man, it's really awesome to see. And Process on this third map, it's a really cool opportunity for these players to put on more of a show. It is, of course, a highly scout favored map, so we'll see Rue and Gataki trying to test their might against Robor and Rowan here. And I gotta say, I'm not quite sure in what direction this is favored. Like, Robor is, of course, putting on a great performance here, but Gataki and Rue have been showing signs of resistance, and they're signs of resistance that Robor, aka Sheep, is not amazingly familiar with. He is, of course, probably one of, if not the most dominant scout this scene has seen in a very long time. Most dominant player, rather. So it's really cool to see that competition is so close. We had such a dynasty of Witness Gaming, and with a few players stepping away from the game, it has opened up an opportunity for players to take the limelight and show that they are able to pick up that mantle, able to fight the good fight, and carry on the community. And I'm sure Snazzy is deeply enjoying his cigarette right now, as I continue to ramble, as I continue to wait for these players to lock in. God, I just want these teams to ready up. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, Process, highly scout-favored map. We see some pretty decisive mid-fights, but they can start a little early. Something that's evolved lately is the opportunity for a combo scout to weave his way through IT on a rollout. Because if you're able to take the opposing side's crate really early on, are we playing? Okay, I think I might be playing tic-tac-toe without production. Yeah, I'm down. Okay, I'm going to do the center play. Just nicely circling in that sniper's head. Oh, an interesting opposition. I don't really like the side angle here. I might elect to mirror you, doing a bit of a right-hand side play. Oh, interesting. But what if I did this?
And for anyone watching who's unaware, this is very important analysis.
Yes, this is important analysis. Look, I ran out of things to say about the map. And speaking of stalemates, we might just stalemate out on this tic-tac-toe game. As we've got a... Yeah, I absolutely threw. God damn it, man. I need to be demo reviewed here. That's cheating, by the way. You can't do that.
I'm pretty sure, I feel like I read a thing about how statistically you should start in the corner or something. I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Start in the corner? What the hell?
Yeah, it's like counterintuitive as.
Alright, clearly I don't know enough about the tic-tac-toe matter. Yeah, I've been too busy with my head in the demo reviews when I should have been reviewing a certain other eons old game.
Oh mate, you gotta know your eons old games. We go to the pub and play dice all the time. It's important. You gotta know these things. Yep. You never know when they're gonna come up.
100%. Yeah, Process. What an iconic map, huh? Let's stop talking about tic-tac-toe for a second, because a bit of a tangent. Production getting bored, clearly.
Here's a topic that we can probably waste a couple of minutes on. What players have really stood out to you in these two maps so far? Because I actually really want to talk about Monolith. Like,
yeah, I mean, you've been singing their praises a little bit about the Solemn Vow, but just some of the best like consistent med play. Like I was singing about Connor at the start, but Monolith has really shown up here. Like I mean, I don't think anyone was ever really sleeping on him, but like just really good stuff. Not dying very often, lots of heals in exactly the spot they need to be all the time. I don't know. It's definitely a player that's been a standout to me. Is there anyone that's sort of like shown up to you a little more than perhaps some of the others in the server?
I think that Rowan has been a really good like backbone of bAUlls. It's given players like Sheep the opportunity to let the reins loose a little bit, and I feel like Rowan, especially when he's got the peer of Sheep on Scout, sometimes his players don't get highlighted enough. But we certainly saw on that first map product, he was able to clear up so many of those picks. And although he was like a little bit in the background in Sunshine, a little bit bored potentially in those stalemates, he was able to provide a really important and valuable baseline to the team of bAUlls. And I mean, Combo Scout is an absolutely thankless job. No one wants to play that shit. It's absolutely boring. You've got so much responsibility. I would argue that, like, I'd have most people, we actually are readied up. Fantastic.
Yeah, we're live.
Wow. After what seemed like ages, we are finally going, as Memories, opting for a standard rollout here into the mid-fight. Brought down to 99 HP, still waiting on that health pack. Gonna opt to pick up the med pack instead. Gonna need to maintain his health a little bit as Matt has walked all the way over to the left. Robor making sure to clean up Oz, and Hertz sailing overhead. Gonna bring down Rowan, and Raylan also to fall. With Matt falling down, and Tachyon actually. They're like 4 players down. Robor also dying, and Connor. Memories hitting 2 with those pipes there.
That was... Yeah.
There was clearly something that went wrong there for bAUlls. Like, taking too much damage. I like the notion of them, like, aggressing very quickly around the left side there. But, we're obviously gaming. Just kiting them out superbly and absolutely punishing all of those players that were caught out of position as Wog Co. Although you can't see on the objectives, they have captured out this second point. And, going into this lobby control here, they will have full Uber advantage going into last. Spamming out that gun from door 5 here. And they will just straight up use through 4. And to see if they can get on top of that sentry gun, they can. Oz trying to bomb some of these soldiers here, going to bring down Raylan. And staying up in this high ground here, going to eventually bring down Tachyon before falling himself to the minigun of Robor. But we're obviously gaming, showing that they've woken up a little bit between maps. They're ready to take this aggressive snazzy.
Yeah, that was a really good last push. They did a really good job of distracting players, picking off a couple that they could. Yeah, they lost a couple, but they held onto really good ground and just stuffed them back in spawn and capped the point. It was really good objective play. And especially like at the start of that mid, they really looked to be on the back foot, but they brought that one all the way back around based on Memory's pipes. I mean, it's textbook play, really. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, Tachyon. Great aggression onto Monolith there. Going to get brought down, pincered with the assistance of Raylan, who will unfortunately fall to the rockets of Hertz. But bringing down Oz and Hertz, despite losing Robor, will give bAUlls the upper head in this engagement. Assuming Matt can hit some of this damage onto Memories as he'll back out, eventually bring down Tachyon. And Matt is going to have to make something happen here if his team is going to stay in this fight. Memory's going to get brought down very weak. Hit that sticky onto Rue. Looking for another Pikataki 3 HP warrior. He does eventually get brought down. Memories 113. Heading around to Sewer. They're on top of Connor. Connor lives!
Dude.
Oh my god.
I really thought Oz had the easiest med kill of his life at the tail end of that one. He landed exactly where he wanted to be. It was so hot, so fresh, but not quite able to make it happen. Matt managing to pick up the other soldier as well as they come into second here. And with this Uber, yeah, this might be another round we're about to see.
Yep, I really like the way this is going for bAUlls this round. Able to assess the aggression coming out of We're Obviously Gaming. And going to take things into lobby now. Spotting out that gun, getting a little bit of damage here. Sending that Sticky in. Going to bring down the sentry gun. Gataki off-passing onto the heavy weapons guy here. Looking to pick up Matt. He will. And Raylan also to fall with the assistance of Rue there. Rowan dying, but Connor picking up Oz in return. There are 3 players down on either side still. They could look to see a little bit of re-aggression here. Tachyon caught in heaven. Connor hitting a very clutch arrow there. Going to bring Tachyon back up to 200 HP. He's going to look, jumping around, going to bring down Gataki. Still alive on the side of Tachyon. Brought down to 27 HP. And Roboboy is going to be standing on the point that's going to pick it up. Oh my god, Connor hitting that arrow really opened up the opportunity there for Tachyon to make that play onto the heavy weapons guy. And securing that round, I gotta say, basically exclusively on the back of Connor. It really couldn't have been done without him finding that arrow from door 5 there. Going into the 3rd round. Taking things quickly on this process map.
Economy out of that arrow, and then out of Tachyon using all of his remaining rockets to just mince that heavy that was doing so much like area denial against bAUlls there. That was absolutely insane play out of both of them. Just crazy stuff to be able to bring that one around into a round.
Oh my god, Matt, what was that stick? How did that hit? As he's doing so much damage to all of these players, bringing down Rue, doing so much damage to Oz. Oz also to get brought down. They only lose Tachyon in this drawn-out engagement. They start up that cap time, already looking towards 2nd.
I mean, they should be looking towards 2nd. They're looking really, really good. If they can get in here, there's still a couple of players down a little bit low. Monolith taking a couple of spam rockets. Really? Down to a dangerous health, but they are looking so good. bAUlls looking very aggressive here. Big rocket, huge rocket onto Gotaki. Not really enough to make it happen. Does end up going down, Raylan there. But, yeah, dude, this is, the bAUlls are really looking like they've locked in here, man.
Yep. But that said, Gataki putting his life on the line, defending Monolith, literally willing to put his body in front of any soldier. Is showing a superb awareness, a management of health, and acknowledging the threat to his medic, and just, you know, showing that insight there to get in the way of Raylan, make sure that they don't succeed on any of that damage that Monolith had taken, because we all take damage, medics, from time to time. Take some long-range splash rockets, even some long-range directs, as we did see a 48, I think, before, as bAUlls. The good old-fashioned, my bAUlls are pressure cooking right now. They're just trying to squeeze in through Al-Qaeda. Matt will get brought down by the pistols, though, but the Uber gets forced out.
Raylan's been doing some crazy bombs as well, actually. That's another player that really has been showing up for this game. Doing a lot of work there, getting that force, and the counter Uber comes out. It's not super juicy, I must admit. bAUlls really
so
look at a bit lost.
Yeah, I really like the thought there. Like, suppose Monolith is catchable. Like, that's one thing, but you can't divide your resource. If you have 2 players behind... Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Oz and Hertz just getting absolutely melted there. But yeah, splitting your resources like that is so risky, because if you don't find Monolith straight away, then you really have to decide, like, well, do we waste this Uber on the chasing down the 2 soldiers that are in, or what's sort of going on?
It's not the way I expected either. They are so keen. They've come straight on into last and fully dry, no advantage. They have picked up the gun. They picked up Oz as well. Tachyon managing to pick up Monolith is huge. Raylan stuffing people in spawn. The Heavy still alive. Rue still out there, now going down. Gotaki and the other soldier now doing everything they can. Big rocket! Connor now having to hit this arrow.
It's just Gataki, you can do it! Oh my god, what? Fantastic work, Connor.
Is that how you get the round, bro?
Unreal.
You just didn't get shot.
Oh my god, that really could have gone both ways. Hertz did so much to try and bring that fight back in We're Obviously Gaming and Co.'s favor, but it was not enough. The damage had been done, as Matt rolling out so fast onto this point, gonna opt to stay somewhat central here, playing around rock, waiting for that arrow coming out from Connor. It will eventually come out as Robor taking this early aggression on the right-hand side. They do give up a little bit of high ground in return, but that's all right. As Robor, he's immediately able to take it back. Connor gonna get dropped down really weak, gonna get dropped down to the 40s there from that Soldier bomb, but picking up both Gataki and Oz is going to open things up for bAUlls here, as they're going to channel this aggression through right-hand side. We're obviously gaming forced to hightail it here. It's 57 HP on Rue. Going to have to back up, meet up with Monolith here. Going to bring down Raylan, but only 1 HP on Rue. He's going to have to cut his losses here. Get an arrow. And it's going to be a slight Uber advantage coming out from bAUlls, but I don't think they'll acknowledge it as it was the mid-fight for this round.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a reset. That aggression out of Raylan there was really, really good, but he just wasn't quite able to turn it into the frag that he needed. The rest of the team was very ready to follow up, but I think they did a really good job of muting that aggression in a situation where if they had gone in, it could have been disastrous for them, ending up on that low ground. Really, really good reactions to be like, okay, Raylan didn't get that, let's play it safe. But speaking of Raylan and Tachyon getting in there, they do get the force out, they do both die, they haven't picked up any frags.
It's
bAUlls
so
kind of in a
bAUlls,
dangerous position. They're really looking happy on the midpoint here. They're back. They're nice and back. Actually, it's going to be really, really difficult for where obviously having to make
what are you
happen
doing
here. My God.
They end up getting forced there. Robor deciding to take a bit of a 1v1 on the left there. Maybe hoping he could get a kill for free, but because he wasn't there to support Rowan and his medic. Oh my God, Monolith just gets absolutely minced, however. What? Why didn't he leave?
I think he
Definitely
was trying
some
to leave and just got
miscommunication there.
minced, man. Like, he was trying to make it out through door 1, but they were a little slow and they weren't...
This is
tragic.
probably around here. bAUlls will instead opt to just wait for their Uber. It's okay, don't have to risk it, don't need to rush things here. Tachyon drawing circles on his mouse pad, waiting for Connor to build up that Uber charge, making sure he's fully buffed going into this next fight. Yeah, wow, I feel like there was a bit of miscommunication there from WOG. Just weren't quite ready to negotiate that Uber charge coming out from bAUlls. Maybe hadn't backed off enough, maybe weren't able to spot that combo, but in any case, didn't go their way as the Uber charge will come out here. Gonna look to muscle through right-hand side. Sentry gun will go down. Good early cap time. Raylan bringing down Hertz from above, hitting some nice rockets onto the back of these players, and a lot of cap time here. Eventually, Tachyon lands on that point, solidifies that push for the rest of his team. What bAUlls is able to do so well in these team fights, Snazzy, is save their soldier HP to counter bomb these soldiers and make sure that they can't stop them from capturing the point. It's really, really impressive to see.
Yeah, it's really good stuff out of bAUlls. Coming into this next mid where bAUlls are probably looking to seal the deal here. 13 minutes left on the clock. They're looking good at this late stage of this finals. They're taking that upper ground, not really doing too much so far. Nice big bomb out of both of the soldiers on the side of We're Obviously Gaming. They don't actually achieve very much of it. Rue, the first one to go down, get absolutely just shredded. Oz going down as well, so does Hertz. And that is going to be all she wrote for that middle. We do see this time, We're Obviously Gaming, they're obviously getting out of there. They've managed to get all the way into last. They've kept Monolith alive. They do have an opportunity here to actually defend this last point, but they're going to have to do a little better than they did in that last one. They were looking dangerous, but they had no one near the point. Raylan already in. The second point capture only just starting. Raylan does go down for his efforts, and I think that might just be a sack and a bit of a reset. We do still see Rohan in there, does end up going down. That's actually not great for bAUlls here. They might actually have to back out. They've backed on the second, and we can see We're Obviously Gaming. They're pretty keen to make things happen. They're trying to get into that lobby area, but they are backing out of this one a little bit. They lose Oz once again. I believe in that door 1 area. Just gets caught out a little bit by Robor. And Raylan up on Spy. I actually love an aggressive Spy play in the last, man. I absolutely froth for it.
It's particularly good on process when there is so few opportunities to get an effective sack off. The decloak on such low cloak was very loud. He does land on top of Monolith, the revolver, back spawn. It's all good. Hit that reset bind, and Monolith is going to stay healthy. I mean, Raylan might have been on the stock cloak there. It's not exactly opportune to decloak when you're so low on cloak like that, because it will be substantially louder. So I think Monolith, he had his game audio turned on, like all good players. Was able to pick up that spy. bAUlls gonna have to think of a different angle to play this last push.
bAUlls, they're in a position here that I think they're happy though. I mean, if you've got anyone stuffed in their last, I've often used my my classic. It's a quote from an organisation that I won't name about how they only need to get lucky once, whereas the other guys need to get lucky every single time. And any situation where you've got people stuffed in their last is one that you sort of want to be in, because you sort of get, as long as you don't flub it too hard, infinite chances to get another round on the board. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. Like, yeah, Raylan went in there and it did not work at all. Raylan got skyboxed and shredded by the sentry gun, but it's okay. They got unlucky this time. They can give it another go. They have as many chances as they want to try to get lucky here, and the We're Obviously Gaming team, I mean, they're obviously in danger. I don't know. I couldn't think of a fun way to say that one. I'm not gonna lie.
I do want to point out, however, that if they aren't able to make something happen in the next 1 minute and 34 seconds, it will go ahead and stalemate. So,
using the classic Raylan on sniper, using the classic.
Raylan is a weapon on the classic. Oz going for some play there. It's going to be a really long respawn time. It's highly risky for him to go for a play like that. They will take the Uber in return. Hurts to fall. And now they've got a sniper going into last. They force the Uber as well. Raylan looking for a pick, sneaking around. Got that wide FOV granted by the classic here. Able to see everything on the point. Rue to fall. We're going to charge up another well. Oh, this is another round.
This is another round. It has to be. Hurts now spawning, trying to do everything he can. Gets on the point, picks up Robor, but it is not enough. There's so many players stuck in the last there. 4-1.
It looked as though We're Obviously Gaming players were just playing that far too passive, and they were falling victim to the pressure cook. They were just pressuring from every doorway. They had to be wary of the classic, but they were letting so many. Oh my god, what is this? Is this Tide Turner?
Is it?
I think it is Tide Turner, man.
So based. That's so based. It is the Tide Turner. Very nice. Matt, I don't know if it's BM or some new strategy that we haven't seen yet. Okay, it's a new strategy we haven't seen yet.
Oh my god, he hits the pipe!
The trip off the rock, land behind Monolith, down Gotaki, Hurts, memories, everyone is dead, everyone else is low, Ruin Oz down stupid low.
And it's the most convincing mid-fight we've seen so far. My god, man.
Dude, when he did the little zoop around Oz there as Oz was trying to get out, and then smacks a pipe into his spine. He just... Yeah, bAUlls really slapping him on the chin tonight. This is absolutely insane.
Slapping on the chin, indeed. And if We're Obviously Gaming wipes that drool from their faces after witnessing that mid-fight, maybe they can lock in a little bit. Going into this last push, recognizing that their demo is on a Tide Turner. So, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Is he going to bring down the gun? No. Hurts will go down to the headshot of Robor, however. Monolith also to fall. Tachyon managing to land on these players, Rowan and Raylan, both dying. And with so much cap time on the board, that almost went so well for bAUlls, and it really had no interest in being... Wait, what? Robor? He's 12 HP in door 1. He will get brought down by Hurts.
I think he was just keen to make something happen, especially on the tail end of that one.
Great rocket onto Raylan. Raylan getting punished for going for some sort of salvage play there. And is Matt still on it? I think he's still on it. Oh my god.
Is he?
He's gonna try and win a round on this.
It's like, I can't even talk shit because he knows what he's doing. He's hitting some insane stuff. He's repositioning at speeds that, previously were not thought possible, but it's not really working out for them. We're Obviously Gaming getting in there, absolutely shredding a couple of players. Connor down stupid low. Is Gotaki going to be able to get through and make it happen? Not quite. Hurts does get through. Clean. But on to Raylan to manage to clean them up. And we do see Connor in a position here looking very, very grim. Rue in nice and deep behind. 1 shot, 2 shots. Night, Connor. And this might be the opening that We're Obviously Gaming needs. I mean, they're on second now with nice big ad. and they've got the players here to sort of make things happen. Tachyon going for maybe an ill-advised bomb down very, very low. Does manage to get away with it, but a sniper shot onto Gotaki as he dropped down.
Oh my god. I love that taunt so much. Literally drawing the sight line that he found Gotaki in between his fingers. Fantastic.
Crazy stuff. But yeah, look, I think we're obviously gaming. This might be their best chance to get a round back on the board here.
Yeah, apart from that mid-fight, the only repositioning Matt's been capable of is right back to the respawn screen. Oh, Rowan, he actually hits that drop the monolith!
My
Oh
God.
my god! Like a house of cards, it's all falling down for these. We're obviously gaming players hitting down another fantastic headshot onto Oz. Looking door one here.
Dude.
Getting that dead out from Memories. Very aware of where Memories is setting up these traps. Looking to push through door one. Hit a what the fuck? Great shot onto Hertz there. Hertz going to get brought down weak. Tachyon also falling, hitting a great rocket there onto Gotaki.
Yeah, Hertz said it best in the chat there. Just beach. Like, holy cow! Really, really good stuff. A bit of a counter snipe on Oz there. Does end up having to flee at Tachyon, a little bit too aggressive for Oz to really deal with on sniper there. But the sticky trap and the shot out of Oz there does take out Tachyon. That might give him a little bit of time to play with here while they're on this disad. Oz going for a hero shot does end up going down. Very nearly had that one actually. That was a very impressive attempt. But while Oz is down, the Uber has come out. bAUlls looking very aggressive. Counter Uber out of the We're obviously gaming team. They have picked up Raylan, but they haven't really picked up too many more. Memories does end up going down. Robor still in here. Tachyon coming through the choke. Monolith in a position looking very, very dangerous. Sniper through that choke as well. Gotaki in behind doing everything he can. Picks up Matt. Picks up this one. Picks up that one.
Oh my god! Tachyon hitting a great rocket there onto Monolith.
Fuck! What is going on in this game, dude?
These motherfuckers are clip farming, man. Oh my god. Tachyon is waiting that whole time. Oh god.
Salvaging something out of that one. Good stuff out of Tachyon there, managing to pick up Monolith, but it's still.
He's so
What a
nasty.
shot! There's no way he hits this next one. There's no way he hits this. Okay,
He's still alive. What?
It's insane that he's still alive, but I'm glad he didn't hit that shot. That would have upset me. Oh god, man.
Oh my god.
Clip farming's right, man. This is gross.
Yeah, this is just like I'm like blushing right now. We're getting to see these players put on an absolute show for us with the wise old gentleman, too wise, too old, and right back on last.
Yeah, they're in pretty dire circumstances here. 70% Uber, staring down the barrel of full Uber on the other side. It's not that much of a disadvantage, but they got to grind pretty aggressively if they want it. There is a gun to slow things down. Sniper as well, going to slow things down a little bit. Matt getting in there does get knocked back by the sentry gun. Sentry gun finally going down. They've got the sticks on the point. The counter Uber comes out. It's actually a really, really good counter Uber, but they need to be worried about those players up top. Connor going down right on the tail end of that fight. Soldier coming through from behind. Tachyon onto Monolith. So is Raylan, and that is that for Monolith. But a very good wipe. They only lost their med to be able to shred every single player left alive on the the bAUlls team.
Yep. Wiping that drool off. Pushed out onto second, onto mid. bAUlls looking to refight this with Tachyon looking to aggress over the left-hand side with both of his scouts, trying to maintain some control of height here. We're obviously gaming, backing up straight through choke and going to try and hold on second here. Try to get those players healthy and anticipating the sack coming in from bAUlls. Two soldiers coming in overhead. Matt following up the rear. Raylan will go down. Tachyon also to fall, but they will pick up Rue. So with a scout advantage, that could allow bAUlls a little bit of leeway. They'll decide instead to opt out, start backing off here. Rowan needs to get healthy again. Maybe didn't feel the level of coordination needed there to resist the advance of We're obviously gaming. That's all right. They didn't have the space. They didn't have the high ground. So deciding instead, opting for the safer option here as deciding to reaggress. Matt very, very aggressively positioned here, walking straight through under Skataki, looking for an opportunity here, going to push through on pipe, going to bring down Tachyon.
Crazy.
Very, very well supported on the flank here. Going to get brought down a little weak, but recognize that both of our medics have full Uber charge here. So it's worth considering that at any point in time during these extended fights, these Ubers could come out and play. So both teams opting instead, backing off, respecting the even Ubers situation here. And we might see a pressure cook coming out from these players soon. A little bit of a brawl on flank, Raylan to fall. But Robor will clean up that trade. And with another scout coming in, Gataki will lose his life. So that's 2 down on the side of We're Obviously Gaming. That's going to be a glaring weakness. Hertz is going to come in to play, going to bring down Tachyon in return. So 2 down aside. But meanwhile, these players are just walking straight through. Rue to fall, but with Rowan falling as well, it's not a guaranteed fight by balls, but We're Obviously Gaming might elect to leave here, looking to make some space. They have to be very careful as Gataki is just a spawner here. The Uber will come out on the side of balls here, but with losing Hertz, they need to be really careful. The Uber will come out from the side of Monolith. They really need to pick up players here. Memories will pick up Connor, and Roball will also fall, however. So it's looking like it's going to be favorable in the direction of We're Obviously Gaming here, as they'll clean up a few players behind. Raylan will fall, and now it looks like they're ready to pursue the central objective.
Yeah, We're Obviously Gaming actually really showing up in that one. They did get a little bit lost there. Spy play doesn't quite go the way they want it to. Matt goes down as well. Yeah, look, We're Obviously Gaming looking actually really happy with the way that they played that one. And as we just go into the Banny config now, they only have to win 4 rounds in a row. So they might actually be able to make this happen. Tachyon with a good sneaky little strategy trying to get in there. And with Tachyon down as well, that gives them everything they need to be able to push into second for free. Oz managing to pick up Robor as well. That's actually a big frag. They've got the sticks on the point. They've got Rue on the point. But Matt, what a pipe to clean up that scout. My God, Gotaki, the only scout left alive at the moment. If they know they have the Uber ad here, Monolith in, very keen, does end up using the Uber, but now they are unable to cap the point. There's stickies on the point as well. They have cleaned up a couple of gamers. Raylan and Robor going down. 90% on Connor now. The sticks get cleared. The demo man is dead, and they get that round. 2-4. Now, I was talking garbage about how they only needed to win 4 in a row. It's 3 in a row now. What are you going to do?
Yep. We all walk by taking 1 step at a time. And that's the first of a journey of 4 steps that'll be taken by these wise old gentlemen here. We're going into our next mid-fight here. Matt, rocking up to the fight, a little bit weak. But he'll quickly pick up that health pack and walk to a more central position. Tachyon electing to try to find a spam angle on the right-hand side here. Looking around these blue crates. Gonna try and find some space as Raylan going sailing overhead. Gonna bring down Memories with the assistance of Tachyon, but Tachyon will fall. Bringing down Hertz, however, will open things up for balls here as Rowan and Robor are able to let loose across this map. Gonna bring down Oz, and Raylan just sitting on top of Monolith. Monolith's gonna get brought down, and it's looking very convincing going the side of bAUlls.
bAUlls definitely looking pretty good here. Looking ready to go for date night. They are capping up that second point with full Uber. The spawns have only just come through, so they know they don't need to worry about a gun yet. Probably need to worry about a heavy, but they're taking it a little slow. They're getting a little bit of knowledge before they get in there. This is the premier gaming that I love to see. Straight through door 4 with the Uber.
Going to look
to point.
Get as much space during this Uber as they can. Unfortunately, they don't find many picks, but with that ounce of cap time and some superb positioning coming out of Tachyon and Robor, they will bring down Oz and Monolith. However, Raylan, Rowan, and Robor all to fall. So with only 3 players left alive on the side of bAUlls, they need to be careful here. Matt getting caught out on the point, but that cap time so narrow, going to chase down Connor. Connor will eventually fall. Rue picking him up. Very wary of the melee attack going out there. He could have lost his life, but it's all good. They'll start capping things out on second here.
Yeah, that was it was a bit of a flood push. I think they might have been a little too confident going into that one, because they played it a little bit disjointed, like they didn't know what their plan was with the Uber. I don't know. either way, I'm happy to see more gaming coming my way.
Yeah, it's bAUlls. I'm going to have a slight Uber disadvantage. I'm not sure whether the WOG team will consider this a pushable advantage. I honestly don't think so. I think things will eventually even out. Had they shown the same aggression that bAUlls has this match so far, maybe they would have pushed off of this advantage. But it's closing up quite considerably now. Connor really maximizing that heals, that Uber charge rate, and managing to even things out here. In fact, getting Uber before Monolith does somehow.
I think Monolith was playing it safe. Like, there was no need to grind there because they knew they wanted it to equal out anyway. So they just made sure everyone was buffed and kept them buffed rather than trying to grind it so aggressively. A bit of a risky play, but I mean, it's worked out for them.
Yeah, it's understandable, I suppose. They've been showing a level head in these Uber situations, no doubt, in accordance to Monolith. As Rowan and Tachyon will go for a sack here with the assistance of Raylan. It's always Raylan, man. The Uber does get forced out, but Matt will go down. So it's only Connor and Robor alive. So the Uber will come out.
They've had to use as well.
Really sketchy here. They're still waiting on some players here. Robor surfing some damage, trying to get away here, playing things around Al-Qaeda. He's only on 36 HP and slowly healing his way up with the assistance of that cozy camper, but it almost looked catastrophic for bAUlls there. They lost Matt.
It almost looked catastrophic. They nearly lost Connor as well. He caught a pipe on his way out, but it's not really enough to make anything happen as the
what the hell?
The gamers here, the We're Obviously Gaming team, they picked up almost everybody. They just targeted aggression, picked up one, picked up the next, picked up the next. They're doing a really good job of this one.
That refight was just dog shit. Why did they do that? That was so weird. Why did they do that? Anyways, it's gonna be a last fight.
They're obviously gaming, and they're obviously gaming on the last point, and that is, see, I was talking garbage. 4 rounds in a row. It's 2 rounds in a row.
The second step taken. Yeah, what? Why did they do that? That was like, is that like the ADHD attack? Did they just like not want to? They didn't want to waste time. Next mid fight, guys. Whatever. Let's go next, I guess. The memories rolling out, hitting a standard rollout. Gonna look for some early damage here.
Good damage
brought
on
down quite weak. He's gonna have to receive an arrow to get buffed up a little bit, so that's gonna impede the initial aggression of bAUlls and allow We're Obviously Gaming to take a little bit of space here. Rue on that high ground before jumping back, recognizing that both soldiers are getting in. Raylan to fall and Tachyon also going down. But Memories and Monolith going to get dropped down quite weak here, not able to support the aggression of their players that are walking forward. Monolith only now rejoining the fight after seeking that health pack, but bAUlls already way out of there.
I mean, this is looking really good for We're Obviously Gaming.
Yep,
they're actually doing a good job of this one.
It might be hard for them to carry that into a second fight. I think they will just let things even out here, and we'll see another stalemate. But yeah, I've got to admit, bAUlls they're showing a bit reserved now. They were up 4-1. They were pulling out the tide turner. They were pulling out all this garbage, and now they're like, oh wait, We're Obviously Gaming might actually have a chance at this. So might be a little bit of fear coming out from bAUlls here. Something that I will always welcome. Hertz, Memories, Oz, Gataki, Rue, Monolith, all inspiring fear in the seasoned warriors that are bAUlls. It's good to see.
Going for a bit of a wild angle, very far back, going for that sort of like off kilter angle through choke. Now moving up on that sniper. Maybe going to go for a bit of a hero shot, clearing the stickies. Gotaki actually going down on the flank in the meantime. Tachyon able to make that one happen. And with Raylan getting straight on through, Monolith now in danger. Raylan catching a couple of shots here. Not quite able to make anything happen, but Connor and Robor are so keen. They are through that choke while they had the opportunity to do so.
Great damage.
Raylan going down. This is looking really good. The Uber finally comes out. Counter Uber of a sort from Monolith. And Connor still hasn't used Rue and Gotaki down. Connor finally using. They picked up so many players. This is huge.
Actual game losing beef just then. That was pretty bad. That said, they don't have the midpoint, so they do need to go back and capture that. There's still a soldier, Hurts, waiting out there.
Forward spawns now too.
Yeah, my god, this is going to be a pretty substantial Uber ad if we see the same level of building that Connor has put on display this map so far. And they should just get second off of it, basically for free. Gotaki already building a gun on last. Same old doorway. Let's see if bAUlls can execute this advantage last push here. So they capture out second.
They really look like they want to wrap it up and shove it under the tree. It's ready to go. These first place medals are going to look excellent on their chests. I am sure they take this lobby area. Tal, this might be the end of it.
This might be it. Matt jumping through right side, missing that stick, but going to try to bring down the sentry. Nevertheless, the sentry will go down with the assistance of Robo, sending some players onto point, baiting out those soldiers. The Uber will come out in return, keeping a lot of the players on blue team alive. That said, none of the players on blue team fell during that Uber charge. Memories narrowly... Oh, he actually hits the second pipe onto Raylan, and it's only Connor alive on the side of bAUlls. And it's not over. We're still going. We're still going. We're obviously
like I said,
gaming.
2 rounds left, baby.
1 foot in front of the other. It's a slow march, but it's a march nonetheless.
They broke step a little. They didn't want to break the bridge that they were going over for a second there, but they're into the middle now. Trying to make some stuff happen, but they're playing on low ground here. bAUlls have such solid control of that upper area. They pick up Oz, and that's going to be the end of that push.
That is such a clean bomb from Raylan there, like going from the low ground in front of Sewer. It's basically entirely hidden from Oz until it's all too late. If Oz is being called out there, Raylan knows his exact position. He can just land on top of him. 2 swift rockets and he's brought down. The Uber will come out from the side of We're Obviously Gaming. It's a crazy Uber. It's an absolute dream Uber. They bring down Raylan and Tachyon, but memories will fall. And now they've got full Uber advantage coming out from... Oh my god, Matt hitting that pipe onto Oz. Pets trying to fall in, trying to support his boy, but Gotaki also to fall. They only pick up Rowan with full Uber disadvantage now. Only Rue and Monolith to survive.
Dude, if Oz had landed with that bomb, it would have been catastrophic for bAUlls, but holy cow, what a pipe. What a pipe to remove Oz from that one. As we now see yet another push from bAUlls. They're in nice and deep. They've got people stuffed into the spawn. They have the second point. They've used the Uber. They're getting across to their other players here, keeping everyone alive. Raylan has
really
gone down.
awkward now. Monolith caught out. Monolith will go down. Now, bAUlls, they need to play this a little bit patiently here. They need to acknowledge the fact that the blue team is just going to bot into them here. Matt and Tachyon, unfortunately, don't recognize that in time. Will fall quite quickly. Rowan on the heavy weapons guy, on the aggressive heavy weapons guy, will get taken out. But with Monolith spawning, Connor managed to survive. They will have Uber advantage here, assuming they don't lose this next fight, as it is quick to break out. Robo, Tachyon will look to prevent We're Obviously Gaming from walking forward here. Raylan looking for an opportunity here, will get brought down. And with very, very little cap time here, Robo finding a pick onto Rue. And with 1 down on the side of We're Obviously Gaming, they have to be very, very wary of the Uber advantage coming out from bAUlls here. As the Uber now fully charged. They're looking for an angle here. Raylan looking from door 2. Tachyon rather. And he will jump from above. Trying to maintain control of this height.
It's
no
looking
cap
really
time
good
as of yet. But they do bring down Oz. They lose Tachyon in return.
I'm on the point.
But with Oz not there... Oh my god, it's so chaotic. They bring down Monolith, but it's only Matt and Connor up alive now. And because they are both near door 1, they're not able to maintain that space. Connor, tail between his legs. He will end up going down. Tachyon, the only spawner on the side of bAUlls. He might try and slow them down a little bit here. Yeah, not an ideal last push. They expected a lot of these players to be caught in, but they were basically in spawn and they weren't able to get enough cap time during that fight to make that push worthwhile. So it did feel like a little bit of a wasted Uber, as We're Obviously Gaming is moving in onto the mid fight now.
Yeah, we're obviously gaming looking very confident here. Big old bomb out of Tachyon. They clean that one up. Raylan coming in now. They don't manage to clean that up, but they are very aggressive. They finally clean up Raylan. Both soldiers down now. This is the kind of play that they need. Rue actually getting a little bit overextended and absolutely minced. Memory's still trying for some crazy, crazy pipes. They pick up Rohan. It's now just Sheep trying to get forward, does pick up Gotaki, still hasn't really even taken any damage in this fight, finally takes a rocket. Sheep does get cleaned up by Oz, big old rocket out of Oz to make that happen, as he bombs
Nasty.
in onto Connor, and not enough to make that happen. But Monolith now with the Uber, if these players get a little bit forward, which they are, they use the Uber so quick, they pick up Connor on like 80-odd%. Really, really good play getting in there, losing memories on the tail end of it though, not what you want to see. Rohan getting very, very far forward, does go down, and Tachyon as well. This is the fight that they've been wanting this whole time.
I mean, Connor didn't have the scout speed there, so he was basically completely checkmated. He was way too deep, and We're Obviously Gaming just gets a free Uber. They recognize that no scouts alive on the side of bAUlls. What can they possibly do to prevent the Uber demo man push? And it looks like We're Obviously Gaming might take their next step towards a victory here on this third map.
It's like they're putting on their pants, mate. It's one leg at a time. They are so keen here. 30% ad, that's pushable. That has to be pushable. Monolith grinding this time, rightfully so.
That said, Connor building Uber quite quickly here. He's already going to be on 60%, might be 70 by the time they use in. Might have to take things quickly here.
Have taken it quick, straight through 3.
Shooting some sticks on the point. Need to get some cap time here. Uber did last a long time. They get half capped here. Traylon will trade out with Rue. And it'll be 4-4.
Another step. How are they doing this? I can't believe they're going to make me sit here even longer.
This is for all the marbles this next round.
Hmm?
We are in our Banny config. And of course, the win limit is, well, it's always 5. But we are playing for the last round here. Everything is on the line. This could be the most insane reverse sweep I think I've ever seen in a grand final, especially in Banny config. As Robor contesting this high ground here, going to make his way around the left, maintaining height very well on the side of bAUlls here. Hurts not managing to find any space as contesting 2 scouts on the high ground. Memories also to fall. Tachyon bringing down Oz with a beautiful rocket there.
Gorgeous stuff, man. So clean. And they're into second now as well. They have got a tiny, tiny bit of Uber disadvantage. Not really enough to write home about at all, but they are so ready to get straight in here. Capping that second point now. They're already in the last. There is a sniper that they have to contend with. Gotaki there, really trying to make things happen. They're onto the point. The Uber gets used.
Fantastic cap time. Notice that Connor hasn't even used his Uber charge yet. Waits to use it on Rowan here. Rowan going to sit on top of the cap, and they just cap it out. What a fantastic play there. And you've got to give credit to Connor. They're going to be our grand final winners. bAUlls taking this third map.
Yeah, 3-0 on maps, but man, that number does not tell the story of what this game has been, does it? Holy cow.
Not at all. Like that second map on Sunshine, so close, such a drawn-out, stale-matey map, going 2-1 the side of bAUlls, and now a high octane. Everyone's in for it, almost a complete reverse sweep. And unfortunately, they were not successful. bAUlls, when pushed to the limit, they were able to make things happen. Take a quick glance at the logs, and they'll tell a little bit of a story here. There's some interesting aliases. But yeah, bAUlls taking things to the limit. Quick update there. Robor putting on a show. Gonna pick up lots of frags, going 37 and 20. Doing a fantastic job. And I've got to say, Rue and Gotaki did such a wonderful job in maintaining the aggression of We're Obviously Gaming in this fight, and were such key figures in creating the space needed to give them these steps, these one step at a time. So got to hand it to Rue and Gotaki, but unfortunately, bAUlls, it did have the upper hand here, Snazzy.
Yeah, they did a really, really good job of trying to make that come around, but bAUlls just so dominant. I mean, I don't even know what to point at to explain the dominance there. I think they were just playing maybe slightly better together. Maybe because they're, I guess, a team that's sort of, those guys have floated around each other for a very, very long time, as much as where obviously gaming is in sort of a similar situation with Hertz, Memories, Kotaki, Oz. Rue and Monolith are sort of like a little newer to that group. If that makes sense. So maybe just the telepathic communication wasn't quite there to make things happen. That was a super interesting game to watch. Super interesting game to watch.
Yep, 100%. And I gotta say, these teams have put on such a show for us. And it's very unfortunate that we're obviously gaming weren't able to push things to bAUll, because that would have been lovely. But bAUlls, they're showing a level of control. They're clearly still having fun with the game as they do it, and it's got to feel a little disheartening for we're obviously gaming. So
Mumble.
yeah. We do have a guest now in our mumble right now.
We've made it the one guest. I'm sure there might be more following along, but we've got young Rohan here, the from the winning team bAUlls. How you feeling, mate?
I finally won.
I finally won.
All
On
I
a
had to do-
tombstone.
All I had to do was sleep with sheep, and then there you go.
Is that all you
Look,
have to
these
do?
things happen.
That's exactly right.
There's a reason that Scotsmen are at the top in all aspects of the planet's sports, mate.
What was it like, Rowan? Not the sleeping with sheep. What was the game like? Were there moments where your patience was tested? We did see Matt whipping out that tide turner for a little bit. Did anyone bark at him to get off of it, or was it him making that decision for himself?
He made that decision. I don't know. The first map was fun because it was like it was the first map, but as soon as it hit process, I don't know. But I got sleepy.
You got sleepy.
It certainly looked like a bit of a slog, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, any map that lasts that long, I think it was about 50 odd minutes.
That was 40 minutes on Sunshine, 40 minutes on process. The
It starts
held
turning
us so
into
well.
a slog, man.
I mean, can I say, Rowan, if your sniper at breaking these holds was absolutely superb to watch, and I gotta commend it to you, because some of the shots you were hitting, specifically on Sunshine, were absolutely fantastic. And you managed to
Sunshine.
I think so.
Sorry, process.
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Dude, bad castle, what the hell?
We
No
also
sh-
have Raylan here, by the way.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Hey, dude, speaking of impact players, I feel like every time Monolith got forced, you were there, Raylan.
I was there, dude. I had 39 deaths in the last one. I think it was awesome.
Yeah,
It was
39 deaths.
shout out Ibkus having less deaths than his medic. That's just
Shout out Ibkus.
a keen sign of positioning. Some might say.
Well, he did a fantastic job at resisting you guys for a lot of that game. So
That's
Fuck
true.
me.
That's
I
true.
got airshot by him too many times.
yeah, the
Everyone did. It
sunshine,
was kinda
the sunshine air shot got caught on cam.
Oh, that guy, such a snake. Oz,
Absolutely feral.
Sunshine, Oz, and Hertz they jump so high up in the air. I can't even look. I think I need a bigger monitor, or maybe I put it in like the vertical mode.
Oh, that's good. The vertical mode would have helped.
Like holy shit! I
Well, that's
just couldn't see him.
that's like the predator prey thing. You know how like prey animals have like the wider eyes predators. They're up and down, boy.
Yeah,
That's what you need to be doing.
I was prey.
How was your team mentally in some of these more drawn out maps? Like during Sunshine, were you guys getting impatient, or what was going on?
Matt.
I think we were chilling on Sunshine.
Yeah, Matt
It
was
was-
trying to like cook a lot, and then Tachyon wasn't really saying much. I think he was eating.
Taki was eating all the Sunshine. So he's eating all the product and then a bit of Sunshine. But I think no one is really too stressed, and like I think it was pretty chill. And then Pro says here, and Matt's like, I want to try this weapon to prove to people that it's good. And then he tried it and it worked, and then we almost got reverse slapped.
We were like, when he spawned with the Tide Turner on, we were both sort of like, I'm not so sure about that. And then the mid was, without a doubt, I think you even said, Tal, like the most convincing mid we've seen yet, or something.
I like it was the fastest it was the most convincing mid so far. Like you wiped them within like 30 seconds of arriving at mid because Matt just like flew overhead, hit a pipe onto Monolith, hit another pipe onto I think it was Oz, and then cleaning up another player at the tail end of it. It might have been Gataki with a roller or something like that. But yeah, unreal. It's actually making it work.
Yeah, no one expects the damage resistance. You know, it's low key kind of broken when you're not thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you expect a rocket to do a bit more damage and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Was there any strategies that you guys like had in play before you ever like sort of got into the maps to play the rounds? Because it sort of looked like there was a lot more well, maybe not a lot more, but a bit more sort of like team play going on with your team than with the we're obviously gaming team. Was there some sort of strategy in play, or was this all just sort of like the telepathic communication of having played together for so long?
It was a bit telepathic. I mean, like realistically, like our team is kind of like a pug team because you have like Matt's roster switches between like 4 different players every single week. But everyone loves going in. Everyone likes aggression. So when aggression's called, everyone's ready for it. And we kind of look synchronized, but I think we're just feeding at the exact same time.
We all just want. We all just trying to get kills. Yeah, I honestly think that's why we lost all of our last pushes is because we're just like in, and then no one called anything, so we would just get out.
This is coming from the pocket scout, by the way.
Yeah.
No one called anything. That's just my pocket scout.
Sorry, I wouldn't call anything. Which that's my bad. I'm still learning.
Well, nevertheless, congratulations. I hope the learning continues, and I really hope that you guys are able to stick together as a team and continue into next season. Yippee! Hopefully. But yeah, congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Enjoy your evenings, and this has been the CappingTV coverage of the Premier Grand Final. And before we go, are there any shout-outs you boys want to provide? Raylan, we'll start with you.
Woo! Shout out Colgate. Shout out Memories for playing his life so perfectly in every game. Just a lot of impact there. Shout out Matt. Very fun to play with Matt, especially when he's on Tide Turner. That's about it. Shout out Snazzy and Tal and the casters. Shout out everyone.
Rowan?
I'm going to shout out the other team. I know they went through a lot of roster swaps this season, which really sucks. You know, Oz and Memories, they always play very well. But also shout out to Monolith. That guy just keeps playing medic. That's hard. But yeah, really shout out to everyone on that team. And then obviously shout out my team. Big shout out to Matt. That guy puts in a lot of effort in wanting to stick with myself and Raylan to play and improve and get better and organize scrims and deal with me on Pocket Scout not really doing the right thing all the time, but he tries to help me.
Wow. PR answer. Awesome, dude.
Yeah. Great PR. Well, Snazzy, I think that brings us towards the end of things.
I think it does.
Is there any certain announcements you want to make? A certain event coming up quite soon in a location near you?
Well, there might just be a little event going on in exactly 1 month's time. Today's the 17th of December, and I think you might find on the 17th of January we're doing the Capping Television Summer Brawl, the 2026 Summer Brawl, the first LAN that we will host for that year. And who knows, maybe the last. You better get your tickets. Who knows? Who knows where life could take us?
Anything could happen, but you don't want to miss it.
Anything could happen.
You don't want to miss it.
You know what could happen at this one? There could be snags. There could be probably not beers. There could be all sorts of fun to happen in Brisbane, Australia on the 17th.
Don't worry, I can
January.
diffuse that probability for you. There will be snags, and there will be a lot of TF2 to be played. So I hope to see a lot of you guys there. It's going to be a fantastic event. So yeah, if you haven't gotten your spectator tickets already, I want to look into that. But yeah, this has been the CappingTV coverage of the ozfortress Spring 2025 Grand Final, brought to you by Tal and Snazzy with Shigbeard and Mitch on production. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you guys next time.
Dude, shout out Super Heaven coming to Australia as well. Don't forget those guys.